Spin the truth, spin it loud. Turn it up for the crowd. Propaganda for the good. Changing minds like we should. Spin the truth, spin it tight. Shining through the darkest night. If the beat is right and the vibe is true, good propaganda's what we do. Flip the script like a DJ's hand. Got the truth in the groove, let it sweep the land. Not fake news, now this is real demand. Spread the word like seeds in the farmer's hand. No tricks, just facts that inspire the soul. Paint the world with hope, let the colors roll. Break the chains of the lies that take their toll. This mic's a torch, we got a brighter goal. Spin the truth, spin it loud. Turn it up for the crowd. Propaganda for the good. Changing minds like we should. Spin the truth, spin it tight. Shining through the darkest night. If the beat is right and the vibe is true, good propaganda's what we do. They say the pen is mightier than the sword, but a turntable sharper when it strikes a chord. Scratch out the hate, remix the board. Put love in the loop till it can't be ignored. We architects of a better day. Build a bridge where the rhyme pave the way. No puppeteer, just words to say. The world can shift when we hit play. Spin the truth, spin it loud. Turn it up for the crowd. Propaganda for the good. Changing minds like we should. Spin the truth, spin it tight. Shining through the darkest night. If the beat is right and the vibe is true, good propaganda's what we do. Turn the tables on division. Crystal clear like high definition. Every word's a small decision. Building up a better vision. From the speakers to the street. Let the message move the feet. When the rhythm and the reason meet. That's when hearts begin to beat. Drop the needle, let the record spin. Knowledge is the weapon, let the change begin. Not about the profit, just the genuine. Wake the masses up from the discipline. Counter every lie with a verified track. Educate, elevate, never looking back. This revolution's got a different kind of tack. Armed with information, got each other's back. Spin the truth, spin it loud. Turn it up for the crowd. Propaganda for the good. Changing minds like we should. Spin the truth, spin it tight. Shining through the darkest night. If the beat is right and the vibe is true, good propaganda's what we do. So keep spinning, This is just the beginning. Truth stays your only way we're winning. Hearts and minds we're rekindling. Keep spinning, Let the good light keep on grinning. Fade to black, but we're still in it. Good propaganda every minute.
Patriotism. There's a word thrown around a lot. It inspires passionate debate and is worn like a badge of honor, and with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. Love. For a word designed to unite, it can also be pretty divisive. You see, there's more to patriotism than flag sequin onesies and rodeos and quadruple cheeseburgers. Patriotism is love for a country, not just pride in it. But what really makes up this country of ours? What is it we love? It's more than just a huge rock full of animals like cougars and eagles, right? It's the people. Do me a favor. Close your eyes for a second. I want to try something out. Picture the average U.S. citizen. Think about it. How old are they? What's their hair like? How much can they bench? You got one? Okay. So chances are, the person you're picturing right now looks a little different to the real average American. There are 319 million U.S. citizens. 51% are female. So first off, the average American is a woman. Cool, huh? Is that what you pictured? 54 million are Latino, 40 million senior citizens, 27 million are disabled, 18 million are Asian. That's more people in the U.S. than play football and baseball combined. 9 million are lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, more than the entire amount of people that live in the state of Virginia. Around 10 million are redhead, 5.1 million play ultimate frisbee, and 3.5 million are Muslim. Triple the number of people currently serving in the United States military. Almost half the country belongs to minority groups. People who are lesbian, African American, and bi, and transgender, and Native American, and proud of it. We know that labels don't devalue us, they help define us, keeping us dialed into our cultures and our beliefs and who we are as Americans. After all, what's more American than freedom to celebrate the things that make us, us? I mean, it's stitched into the stars and stripes of this country, from the Constitution to Gettysburg, to our motto, E pluribus unum, from many, one. It's even in our country's name, the United States. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, disability, sexuality, race, religion, and any other labels. Because the second any of us judge people based on those labels, we're not really being patriotic, are we? So let's try this one more time. Close your eyes. Picture the average Joe or Joan or Juan or Jean-Luc. The real people who make America, America. And this year, whenever you feel the urge to don those star-spangled shorts, set off fireworks the size of my biceps to show love for our country, remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
What up, Twitch? What up, Yo?
Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Resistance is futile.
Baby, I just met you. This is crazy. Here's my number. Call me baby. Thank you for the follow. What up, Raiders? What up, Raiders? What up, Raiders? What up, though? Let me turn this back on. Baby, I just met you. This is crazy. Here's my number. Call me baby. Shout out T Minus for actually giving me someone who is in here back. Like before, I will fight the fight and win the war. Thank you for the subby. I'll get to that in 1 second. But T Minus actually gave me somebody who was in before the go live notification. So that was cool. What up, Pharaoh? Be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. Thank you for that sub. Give me one minute to get to it. I just got to say hi to everybody. What up, Ketchup Butterfly? What up, Broral? What up, Pharaoh? What up, Femvox fan? What up, Ocelot? What up, Brecken? What up, Big Ben? What up, Pizza Dude? What up, Ketchup Butterfly? What up, Orchestran? I just met you. This is crazy. Here's my number. Call me maybe. Thank you for the follow. What up, Suckle Dragon? What up, Textilian? What up, Wolf Glenn? What up, Nissa Simpson? What up, Princess Kimberly, Old Lobster? Thank you for tier 1 6 months in advance, contractually obligating me to stream for another 6 months. Thank you very much. What up, CMS? What up, Chef? What up, Ben? Again, thank you for the subby. Blah blah blah. I can do Red's Kyle. What up, Red Hobbit? What up, Zippy? What up, Numeral Whistle? The Dayman Nightmare. What up, Kensai? How you doing, homie? What up, Kashka? How you doing, homie? What up, Twitchy Golem? What up, Ponder Monkey? What up, Law Dog? So that's everyone. Hi. How are you? Why are you all here? Is there something happening? Is there something I should know about? What up, Senator? Sorry if I missed you. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. The world is on fire. What up, Becca? What up, Oxpecker? Is there something on my face? Is there something on my face? Yeah, so today, as some of you already know, we are doing a little conversation. We are going to have Redolent Thoughts and Paradigm Shift and James from the internet. And we are going to talk about the propagandas there.
Unfortunately, nobody seems terribly interested in funding my research, but
I am. I will fund your research.
Yeah? That'd be cool. Thank you for the hype train to get us started. Becca, I saw you subbed, and you subbed. Thank you very much for the subby. Also, Ben, what up, Crix? Ben, the requested bit alerts have been now incorporated into the stream. So now, if people bid or bit or donate, whatever the word is, 69 or 420 bits, there are now alerts. I might
I don't know who I am anymore. I'm getting too much money.
What up, Lord Lycanthrope? What up, Pixelated Pooker? Welcome in. So now, I might change the 421 to...
In tonight's numbers, analysts report that local support has risen to an impressive 69%, marking a record high for the initiative and signaling broad community approval. Nice.
It was made with Sora 2. So I hope you like it. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight. I hope y'all are ready to Wang Chung tonight. We are just waiting on people to be ready. Do. Hey yo, what the fuck? Did what? Seriously, did somebody buy me an Elgato Stream Deck off my throne? Holy shit. I thought it was a scam, and like I was getting okay, like somebody's trying to do a fucking thing, but it appears to be legit. Like holy shit. I don't even know what to say. Like that is extraordinarily unexpected. That was more like a fucking wish list of stuff that I would hope to have in the future. Whoever did it, you are an amazing human being. Because I don't see anything in here of who did it, and I to quote a certain Mister from the internet, y'all are a better community than I deserve. And now I feel all mushy. God damn it. Thank you. fucking wild. What up, Cicero? Yeah, so so one of your cats, they must be nice cats. What up, Raiden? Oh. Yeah, hype train.
Coil steady. Pulling now. Smooth burn. Your turn, Chrome.
Appreciated. Vapors stable. Passing onward.
I'll take that. Intake initiated. Exhale.
Silver.
Got.
You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. Ben, thank you for the 420 biddies and ceasefire. Welcome in. I appreciate the resubscribe 3 months. It's good to see you, homie. To kind of give away the longer term plans for this panel, I want to actually make this a reoccurring thing because I want to talk to different groups of streamers. And Peacefire, you are on that short list of people to talk to. Like wanted to get together with LHS, wanted to get together with Kel Thickness, you know, like just bring in different people and talk about this kind of thing. I think it's important, right? I think it's an important to get our messaging down. What up, Tenacious Liege? It is almost time. It is almost time. We're still, what up, Bark Eater J? We're still getting it together. I see Paradigm in the Discord. And hopefully Red shows up. Not for any reason that my man has a tendency to like fall asleep. But yeah, dude, like I got 3 different emails confirming it. It is not a scam, dude.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
And it's distinctly possible. I didn't hear that, but he could have said that at a different point in time. I know that he thought he was going to have to step out. Yeah, I understand Peacefire, and it is what it is. We can absolutely we can absolutely have a great conversation with Paradigm and James and like that. It's just like Red was very specifically someone that I wanted on the panel because of their particular background and thinking. And it's so here's the thing. A little inside baseball. What up, Krail? I see you and I will answer your question. A little inside baseball is if you're going to set up a panel, right?
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Oh, and thank you to Anonymous for gifting to the community.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Thank you for Pineapples gifting to the community. I appreciate you both very much. Love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. And we hit the goal. We are absolutely mad frooping up in here. We are frooping it, and it's an amazing thing. Like before, I will fight the fight and win the war. Holy shit. Becca, 6 months in advance, 14 months total. This is, I'm having a wonderful time. Real quick, to answer an AI question, right? To answer an AI question. Why weren't data centers using closed loop cooling since the beginning? We've had that tech for a long time. I'm going to say it's because nobody asked for it, right? Let's see what Old Lobster says. I know the answer to this. Lack of municipal water makes pumping your own well cheap for evaporative cooling. Chillers are cheaper to power than the cost of water from most municipal systems. And there you go. It has to do, like, one of the things that's happening. I hate corporations too, y'all. Except for leftist corporation. We do love leftist corporation around here. What up, Ribbons? The companies like Google and Microsoft are having influence on the people they buy their product from, and their product is data center bandwidth, data center usage, CPUs, etc., etc. They also have influence on the municipalities that they draw power from, which is why you're seeing an increase in the amount of renewables, because it's it is good business to do renewables right now. Now, this is not to say that corporations aren't out there doing shenanigans and, using people's water and, not paying taxes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just talking about this specific thing. They have an influence, and it so happens that in this particular situation, it is generally working out in our favor in that one single regard. Okay? Is that enough caveats? Yeah, no, we could have been doing it. So there must be a reason why we weren't doing it, and then reason is usually money when it comes to corporations. Absolutely, Krail. All right. Doom, 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 doom. Cheap and quick, yeah. Evaporators are some of the most efficient large scale cooling options we have. And then there's that. Why can't we just fruip the data centers? Because no one froops like this community, and unfortunately, y'all aren't in positions of power. What up, Jen Cynical? Got solar installed 3 months ago, and honestly, I've seen a huge smaller bill. I might supply 30% back to the grid, but my cost of electricity have been working pretty good. Yeah, I'm hoping that next year that I can get solar, right? Like, because I want solar. I wanted solar for quite some time. Group D's nuts? True. We do need to share the fruit some more. We need to fruit everything. Near. Did I finish my thought? Okay. What is fruit? We there's so many trains of thought. What up, trans women? CEO of trans women. So Hank Green did a video and he referred to exponential growth as the fruit, right? And we happened to be watching that, and then chat went nuts and started throwing around bits and subs. So we started fruiping, and we've been fruiping ever since. So yeah. What up, Spectrophonic? You're all good. So that's what fruip is. Back to the thing. When you're putting together a panel, you want balance, right? You kind of want like, even if you're going to have a panel of people who are generally going to agree, you do want some deviation from that so that there's something interesting to talk about, right? You want unless you're doing some debate bro panel, you do want to, have people who are going to treat each other with respect and communicate articulately. But you will want some, like dichotomy of opinions, right? All right, James will be James will be ready in 10. Paradigm will be ready shortly, and Red will be along when Red decides to show his face, because that is the way of the thought. James is high? James probably is high. James is definitely high. I fruit, you fruit, he, she, they fruit. We will have the fruit, fruitology, the study of fruit. Yes. Yes. I appreciate y'all. This is vamping, right? This is conversating with chat. We're having a wonderful time as we wait for people to get together. So that leads me to the second aspect of putting together a panel, is that you must understand that your guest will not show up on time. Right? They will not. What up, Maggie? They will not show up on time. Hey, not all of them. Some people will. If you ask me to be on your panel, I will show up on time. I will be early. I will be ready to go. But I am unusual. What up, Stellar Wingen? Nice. I made new I'm just flipping presets. Whatever you say, boss. I made 2 new bit alerts using Sora 2 today while I was doing it. And a brand new song. I made a brand new song just for this new endeavor. What up, Eric? I mean, he'll be here when he gets here. The wizard arrives exactly when they intend to. I'm notoriously on time. It's a thing with me. Spaniards just don't understand my sense of punctuality. I am... For me, it's almost pathological. Because if you're early, you can be on time, but if you're late, you never can. What up, Fire Resist? You know what I mean? So like, I am just, I don't want to be late. And part of it, and this is no shade on any of, my guests or whatnot tonight. But I respect other people's time to that point where I want to make sure you're not waiting on me. You know what I mean? It won't be on me. Could be on somebody else, but it won't be on me. Oh, dude, Old Lobster, I absolutely hate it when I have to be late for stream. No, it's fucking valid. I said it. Words come out of my mouth, hold me accountable. But I hate it when I'm late for stream. I hate it when I plan to stream and can't for some reason. Like, it is because I said something and I like to stand by my word. You know what I mean? Someone told me James was advertising nicotine because he vapes on stream and that makes him anti-science. I literally lolled. It was the same chatter asking about Dr. Cruz. Like, what? It reaches wild. First off, no, right? James talked about how he used to smoke cigarettes and then talked about smoking cigarettes again after the surgery, and I don't believe that ever actually happened. I believe that James continued on the not anti, but just the quitting, right? You quit and you stay quit. I, on the other hand, do vape on stream, and I know it's bad for me, and I know it's anti-science, but I am aware of my hypocrisy. And I'm grown. I had a parent who was chronically never anywhere they said they would be when they said they would be, and as the child along for the ride, I internalized things, and now I'm chronically early. Traumas. I am, yeah. No, I'm aware of my traumas and why I am the way I am. What up, Cowabunga, Andy? yeah, if you do quit, like I still smoke cigarettes and I know it's bad for me. And on one hand, I do want to quit. And on another hand, I really fucking enjoy cigarettes. If you haven't started smoking, you should definitely not start. Right? If you have quit smoking, you should stay quit. I enjoy it, and that's, a problem that I have to wrestle with, but that's on me. Vaping cures autism? I beg to differ. Uh, quit smoking 2 weeks ago. Keep it up, Nissa. Keep it up. Drink too much Dr. Pepper. We all have our vices. Yes. What, Maggie? What the heck? What? That I smoke cigarettes? Is this not? I've never hidden it. I don't hide things. I like if it's relevant, then I just say it. You know what I mean? Year 6 or 7, good job. 5 years tenacious liege, excellent. Right? Like I'm mad supportive of people who have quit smoking. 20 years at the corp, nice, very nice. Right? That's hard. It's hard. What up, Batman? Yeah, like
I swear I will not kill anyone.
Unlike cigarettes. Yeah, and that's the thing is I'm on about half a pack, right? I don't have an answer for you. I just look at myself like I'm imaginary looking at myself in an imaginary mirror, and it's like, why are you the way that you are? I contain multitudes. I had the same problem as you with enjoying the smokes until I woke up one night and couldn't stand up from pain I've never had before in my hip. That was August 9th. Yeah, no, like absolutely. And it could definitely be a situation. Sorry. I have to answer a whisper. Okay. Shit's wild, yo. Shit's wild. Yeah. So, what up, Larry? What up, Iggy? Jesus Christ. I just I recently lost a friend to cancer, Cicero. And it was actually unexpected because like it seemed like they were getting better. And it fuck cancer. Fuck cancer. What up, Charm Chaos? That's the thing with drugs. Once you've done them long enough, you become internally aware that if you genuinely stop, you're probably going to be done. So this personal, yeah. I Cicero, all the best, man. All the best. You know, I hope that everything goes your way, homie. Do do do. Do 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 do. So it's 7:07. Baby, I just met you. This is crazy. Here's my number. Call me Mary. Thank you for the follow. Hey, no, I just am as you find me, homie, and I actually I do give a shit about people. You know what I mean? And do we know if Ed is bringing Ed tonight, or Red is bringing Ed tonight? He's the real star of that channel. Probably not. I bet he's jealous of Ed. If Red streams then and you want the chaos that is the redolent thought stream, then yes, if you go and watch Red stream, then you'll get the full Red experience. They might tone it down a bit because of the panel, but past panels have kind of still had a bunch of chaos. It might not come through to the other channels that might be streaming. On a long enough timeline, living under 2.72 million mile circumference nuclear explosion, 24/7 mutated cells are guaranteed. Yes. What up, Bracken? So, vamping question, where's Stampy roaming about? Stampy has been reluctant to get on stream lately, and I don't know why. And it's annoying. Because a bunch of y'all actually, what up, people? A bunch of y'all actually show up to see the cat and not the streamer. He's apparently on strike, and he has not voiced any of his demands. He's on strike, and he is just. No, I mean I would like Stampy here too. There was a time when he would sleep. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's a government worker and I didn't know. And he's just doing the no. I Catch a Butterfly, I actually thought about making that joke, but like I don't nah. What up, Billy? I had an idea to write an AI Stampy detector for you to plug in to stream and have alerts and shit and interact with chat. That'd be cool, but he's not dependable. Shot collars are for children. Or consenting adults if you're into that kind of thing. Next guest, Hassan's dog. Hey, Hassan, if you ever want to have a co-host on any of your podcasts who's not going to turn into some friggin' weirdo at the end of the thing and become like some weird hanger-on or worse, turn into your worst nightmare, hit me up, dude. Hit me up. What a silly week. You know? I can't anymore. People tell me, are you ready? You gotta tell me you're ready. I don't send in the invite until you're ready. Bum 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 bum. What up, Red? There's rules to this? Well, I'm doing it. So yes. When I do things, there are rules. See the board games? The board games have rules. I'm big into process. It's an idea that you can engage with. Do 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 do. Yeah, that was definitely a thing that Red did. Of course, you can't chat in Hassan's chat unless you've been a follower for a particular amount of time, and I've never been a follower. Boom, boom, boom. All right, James, you should have an invite. Paradigm should have an invite. And the redolent one should have an invite. Have an invite. And James's thingy is blinking when I talk. Then we're going to come over here to Dick Sword. Start the Dick Sword call.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological
One moment, we got a raid
own.
coming in.
Resistance is futile.
What up, Raiders? What up, Raiders? I'm Globus the Elder. I talk about AI, automation, robots, and future tech. But today I'm having some wonderful streamers come by, including James from the Internet, The Paradigm Shift, and Redolent Thought. And we are going to have a panel on, what was it? Oh, yeah, propaganda. So come on in, sit yourself down. All right, Paradigm, go ahead and say words.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Why are you so quiet?
Yo, or you need me to like talk? Cause I could talk, but like, am I quiet in general?
You're quiet in general. I can turn you up on my side, but yeah.
No. Don't do that yet. Don't do that yet. I'll tell you when you could do that. Yo. Am I getting louder? I should be getting louder.
You are getting louder.
Yo. How about there? We good?
If you can go a little bit louder, I think, just because.
Yo. Perfect. Good.
Yep.
Awesome.
And James?
I'll take anal bum cover for 100.
And Red, whenever you're ready to give me a little sound check, that'd be great.
I think my computer just did the same thing. I think it's this fucking. Okay, I know what it is. Goddamn Elgato teleprompter. I put your chat. I put your chat on the teleprompter so I could see the chat, and it was like, "Nah, we're just gonna crash."
Bro, you should add a nested scene.
I just no. That is.
Just, I'm on the only scene with no nested anything in it.
See, that's the problem. You confused it.
God damn it.
A redolent thought stream that doesn't begin with some kind of technical difficulty is not a redolent thought stream.
I could literally start at 5 p.m. every day if it wasn't for these technical fucking problems. All right.
The redolent thought is every day thinking the stream's going to go off without a hitch.
And Paradigm, are you streaming? Okay.
Well played. My guy who's literally his own hype man, nothing to say. He's like Chuck D and Flava Flav rolled into one individual, nothing to say.
Wait, me?
Yes, you.
I was muted. Sorry.
Are you streaming?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like. I'm trying to turn on.
Gotcha.
Because I haven't done the stream together /join thing because it requires Google Chrome. So it's just the first time.
It doesn't require Google Chrome.
I can't use Opera. It won't let me use Opera.
It might not work with Opera, but it does work with Chrome. It works with Firefox, and it works with Edge, as far as I know. Not
okay,
that
I have
Edge.
Hey, I actually, I could say the propaganda on Edge. I mean, it's not a browser that I'm like, yo, it's the default. You gotta use it. But like, it's not bad. It's not Internet Explorer.
True.
Chrome is Edge's Chrome. Don't use Chrome or Edge. Anything with a Chromium system. Too late. Everything uses Chromium. Okay, so I got to do this for the. Oh wait, I don't even need to allow the microphone because we have sound on the other thing. All right, hold on.
Yeah. No, sound is just through Discord. Yeah, so you're good. You're good. What up, Zarsek? I haven't seen you in a minute. I like it when people show up that I haven't seen in a minute. I like to know that people are,
Still alive?
yeah, like on the thing, right? Like there have been people who have just disappeared into the ether and you're not talking to us, are you?
Was that me?
Yeah.
Can you hear that? You're
Uh-huh.
not. You shouldn't. Why are you able to hear my desktop? What the fuck?
Probably because you got default audio and it's picking up the microphone inside your monitor.
Ooh, good point.
The fuck? This guy is
What
not
the
coherent. What is going on?
Oh my god! I just called everybody in here. Fuck it.
Oh, you kids.
Hot mic, hot mic. It's a display camera hub thing. What up, Vines?
Okay, now I press join here.
No, I look forward. Some member of the community got me. I have a throne, right? And you just put stuff on the throne. It's like a wish list, right? And somebody got me an Elgato Stream Deck off the throne today.
Oh, let's fucking go.
And so this is my first time I'm going to experience using the Stream Deck, and like I'm adding a layer of complication to what's happening in my stream, and not something I normally do. So I look forward to all the fun technical difficulties people complain about.
So fun story, Globus. On my Stream Deck, where I have Globus saying "Just smoke the weed, kids," you can actually put a little PDF of an image. Not that kind of PDF. You have seen followers. So there's literally a picture of you on my Stream Deck, and it's when I press, and then it goes, "Just smoke the weed, kids."
Nice.
That's kind of cool.
Because you can program the little images in the button. So there you go. You literally live on my Stream Deck. Not weird at all.
Why is my shit so compressed?
You are compressed.
I think that's just the nature of that I am in 16:9 and not in a webcam format.
You're a tad oblong.
Just a tad.
I mean, it's a good look. Just a different look. That's all.
Hold on, maybe it's in the
For the streamer that takes the most pride in their camera, Paradigm is going to fix it.
Yeah, I 100% am going to fix it. I refuse to let this be the way that I go out. I'm not going like that. Okay, now I've got it. Oh, okay, I know what to do. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's get creative.
Oh, that's what the situation calls for.
Shut the fuck up.
Ritalin thoughts somewhere floating through the void, trying to find a power button. You're over here getting creative. We're looking at your fucking desktop. It's just a big OBS symbol. Let's get creative. Come on, kids. Let's go. I'm here for it. Yeah. Dude, we should all do sepia tones. Make it like an 1880s stream. And then y'all can stop busting my balls about the old thing.
Well, now you're on the trolley.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah, that's
Come out west. We're looking for some gold. We don't want any trouble.
There we go. I'll block you. All right, that's better. Now let me get that light on. Do you know where the light is?
What up, Cosmic?
But all of a sudden, I'm feeling better about my punctuality and technical readiness.
You were.
Oh, he turned on the button because he's used to doing this. Like, man, the way it could have all been in Discord. But I know why you did it this way, which makes way more sense. But still,
No, absolutely.
Man,
Especially like if you are streaming, the shared chat is amazing because it boosts everyone involves numbers and it makes it a lot easier to cross pollinate, the communities.
all right, now you can see me and hear me, right? And no cross audio, everything's good.
I didn't get a chance to see you yesterday because I couldn't look my phone and you went with you cut all the grass in the yard.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's been saying that. And I cannot cut off my beard or the person behind me would kill me. So I'm on my John Moxley right now. I'm on
Yeah,
my
no, I mean it does make you look older. I will say that you went from
yeah.
looking like 30 to 40, but it works.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It'll come back. It'll come back. My hair don't take longer than a week to grow back. But I had to do a reset on the waves because I wasn't taking care of it the way I should have been.
Now, if we can just get Red to grow a beard, then
I just assumed it was mandatory that once you go bald on the top, you grow a beard to compensate. Like I just thought that was the thing. It's all I could still grow hair. Look, like I just always thought that was the thing because like back in the day, like motherfuckers would just like bald gracefully, but now we're in like the social media age where motherfuckers are like, "Oh, my hairline started receding, gotta go bald," and the first thing that people do after they shave their head is immediately like play, I wonder if I can grow a Viking beard, then nobody will notice I'm bald. Like, no, now you're a bald guy with a huge beard. Like, I'm just saying, I thought it was normal. Like, I'm prepping mine for the long grow out myself. I
if
think
you
this is gonna be the winter.
if you remember like back in the 80s and 90s, like you had people on TV who were bald with the strip around the side, and it was just that's just what you did,
Yeah, you
and
just went bald.
just went bald.
And now everybody shaves that shit. Like, unironically, I know sorry, this is like to do with the propaganda. Unironically, I'm looking forward to getting to the point of bald where you just have the Caesar thing
Mm-hmm.
because the Caesar with the beard is not half bad.
Mm-hmm. You're
Like it's a
going for
good look
like
because it's like all like continuous. It's not like the Oreo look where motherfuckers do that weird shit, but like it's not a bad look. The trick is you have to get bald enough, but not too bald.
right.
There's like a zone where it doesn't look weird. Like
And I think I'm just at that zone.
that's what I'm striving for. That's gonna be my sweet spot.
And then you got people like Danny DeVito who just lean into that shit, and everything's long, and everybody loves Danny. So
True.
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 So what y'all been up to? What's I mean, I watch y'all streams. I'm not even gonna pretend like I don't. You're right. Like this ain't a catch up point. We're literally here every day, all day, every day. I can't say anything because it all leads into. Can you believe how much we're being gaslit constantly, everywhere?
now we ended up in a really weird spot today because James showed us the video of Marjorie Taylor Greene going on CNN and having a rational, normal conversation with CNN, and everybody was nice and pleasant. And there was a point at which the female caster like stumbled over her words, and it was like even she could not like understand the response she got from Marjorie because it was so like on point and intelligent and cogent and all sorts of other words I'd never associated with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I'm telling you right now, today was the day she officially began her campaign for the 2032 presidency.
Oh, absolutely. So now, yeah, no, absolutely.
Straight up, dude.
I think that's so funny. Oh my God, New York. I'm going to be the one to say it because I'm black. New York niggas know exactly like what the game plan is. I saw that clip and I was like, wow, y'all going to walk yourselves into a Marjorie Taylor Greene ticket.
But we watched all 15 minutes of it. That's just a clip, and it was
oh shit. It's better than the clip.
No, how many times you see me at a loss for words?
It was
Never.
Yeah, no,
I had nothing. I had nothing.
shock and awe.
It was utter insanity, man. She's gonna let all the hogs eat themselves for the next 4 years, fighting over the scraps from Trump's corpse stable once he kicks it, and she's just gonna roll in 2032 and suck them all up like fucking cracker crumbs off the floor. It's fucking dude. She pulled out some like 12D chess shit today. Like,
Yeah. And
dude.
it makes you wonder if the previous Marge was the pretense, the character. And this is actually who she is, right? Like, cause she runs a business, you know, and she is a savvy fundraiser and everything else. So like within that context, she might actually be the person we saw today and hasn't been in the past. You know what I mean?
I think she's probably all those people. It's just she just it's not the whole pulling off the mask Scooby Doo thing. It's the whole you remember the Transformers, and it was the one that had the rotating face,
Mm-hmm.
and each face had like its own voice and its own person. It's more like that. It wasn't like she took off the mask and it's like I've been a trad wife the whole time. No, it's more like the rotating face thing. And she just pulled around the one that can like speak in complete sentences for like the first time, and everybody was just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Which
Like, she
leads
was
me
like
to
she was
yeah,
all
go ahead.
delightful and nice and demure. She was all like she apologized to people. She was all and then she was like, "Oh, well, if Donald Trump wants to know what's going on, he's got my number. He can call me." Like, in the middle of nowhere, she just dropped big dick energy too. I was like, "What is going on here?" Like, it was bonkers, man. It was bonkers.
So what I feel is like when I saw it, my first approach is it could go one of two ways. Either maybe she really likes the power and realizes that you can't escape material harm. So this healthcare situation is gonna blow up in her face whether she wants it to or not. And to continuously just ignore that and defend other things is gonna make her like public enemy number one in her state. Or the second thing, which I'm really nervous about, I think she recognizes what's on the horizon as far as our big Nazi takeover, and she's trying to jump ship like the rest of them, like those few others who are trying to leak to the press that the Republicans are breaking out of their camp and things are not looking good. I think like people who are deathly afraid of knowing that we will do Nuremberg style trials are just like, look, I tried, bro, I tried, but that's like
We brought this up today. We were like, the week after Trump dies, there's literally gonna be like a stampede of Republicans tripping over their own dicks, trying to get the front of the line to be the first one to the podium, going, "Oh my God, it was horrible. It was the Mad King. I just had to go along with him because he was crazy and he was gonna have us all killed." Like, that's all they're all gonna be like, we didn't want to do any of that. We were bullied. We feared. We had fear. Didn't you see the January 6th protesters with the guillotine and the new yeah, that was the thing. Like, they're gonna act like they've been held hostage for the last 4 years. Like,
oh, I can't wait.
they're all gonna pull that, except for like the 6 people who take over whatever's left of MAGA, like whoever ends up on top of that pile of dog shit. Sans those people, which would be like JD Vance and then like 2 people fucking Trump's kids, whoever those are at the time. Like, fucking Kimberly Guilfoyle, 2036. Who the fuck knows at this point?
Whew.
Oof. Don't worry, Gavin's still polling at 13% though.
I said in 2021 that this was going to be the death of the Republican Party, whether they wanted it to or not. And I still have people in my chat, like I think even a few weeks ago, oh, what happened? I thought you said the Republican Party was going to die. I mean, you hinged all your bets on an 80-year-old man, whether you had this plan for a fascist takeover or not. You got a weak link, and that weak link creates other weak links. You got to follow the leader.
Yeah, but see, they're not gonna die though. No. They're gonna come back out and they're gonna be like, oh, thank God, oh, that hellscape period is over. Now we can get back to sane governance and normal conservative. Thank God the Republican Party gets to get back on track after that whole horrible period. And because there's only two parties, because the duopoly is purposeful, everybody to the right of fucking, like goddamn FDR's corpse is going to be like, oh, cool, we can be normal Republicans again. And nothing will change.
I hope
Because there's
not.
only two parties.
I hope.
Where the fuck else you think they're going? Where?
I swear to God, if I hear one more time that, like, I've told people, this is where it all ends. Somebody somewhere is gonna be like, "Yo, these people need to be tried. Like, we need to wait a minute, wait. We're
If
not
the
just
Dems ain't gonna do it,
right?
Right." And I'm like, so you gonna have to make a decision at this point. You really want this revenge, or you gonna just be like, "Ah, you got me, you got me."
The Dems will form some internal committees to research the possible ramifications of what people did before making a strongly worded suggestion to the new Democratic judiciary, which will no doubt be championed by some leftist stalwart like Amy Klobuchar or something. Like, yeah, dog, ain't nothing gonna happen.
And they'll say,
Nah.
while some of the Republicans acted out of character with what we normally see in a responsible government, we feel that at this point in time, going after them would be divisive for the country. So we're going to move on and engage in healing. And also, we're going to means test all the things that we're bringing back.
That's right. That's right. We definitely want to get rid of all these draconian Republican programs that are coming at the cost and the expense of the working class. Right after we analyze what level we should means test them at, because we can get rid of them. It's a lot of work, but we can definitely scale them back. You see, they're up here at like an 8. We think they'd be okay down here at like 5, maybe a 4. See, aren't we been and there will be at least 2 non-binary people on the commission who determine what the new rate will be. So.
Yes, and they'll
See,
try
this
to.
is exactly why we need some color up in the representation. Because the first thing I'm doing,
You got Hakeem Jeffries.
I said color. I said color. All right.
Yo. All right.
My man just said, "Yo, what if Carlton Banks never had a character arc?" Right.
Fucking Apex Shakur over there doing the fucking the fucking Carlton.
It's just, to me, it feels very. Every solution is right there. Where is redolent? I'm trying to transition into the topic, and every time I have to like sway away from it. Hurry up.
People are ready to go, homie. But we love you, Red. We love you.
We? You French? This is we. Who does we?
Okay. We, as in a non-zero, a significant number of people within the community and in the immediate area. Do you know? I don't think you really have hung out with Redolent Thought other than maybe in like James's stream.
I think so as well. I think we wanted to do something at some point, or I think maybe we did. But yeah, it's
Paradigm's like, yeah, I ain't up at 3:45 in the morning on a Tuesday.
And you know what God, I'm telling on myself now. You know what the stupid part is that I will be. Like, if I don't got work the next day and she don't got work the next day, we'll stay up to like 3:30 in the morning. And the last thing I want to do, I'm sorry, maybe there are good people online, I just don't know. But I was there. James knows. I used to cut my stream off at like 1 a.m. all the time. The last thing I want to do is be on Twitch past 2 a.m. Y'all some freaks at that time. And I don't give a fuck about the time zones. Shut up with the I'm from Europe and it's 10 p.m. where I'm at. I don't fucking care. All right.
You ain't wrong. 3:00 in the morning is when hardcore doomer ass white streamers have one too many drinks and start getting a little loose with the vocab. You ain't wrong. You have no idea how many like after party streams I ended up on after like a 4-hour debate panel. Motherfuckers are like, ooh, that debate battle's over. Now I can finally start saying the N-word. And you're like, huh? We just got here. Like, fuck, what? Like, damn, now I gotta leave. Shit. Oh, this fucking platform. Oh, man. Yo, you remember Redolent Thought used to stream?
Who?
Damn, good times, good
That
stuff.
guy was that guy was awesome, bro.
I'm not sure who that is. I don't know a lot of people. Are they like Sansol?
Oh my god.
Yo. Oh shit, man.
That's
No,
like Hunter
like,
Avalon without the button town.
right, yeah. Oh my god, hurry up, man. Why your computer not working?
Oh good god. It's gonna be one of those days.
It's coming up for 1 a.m. in Europe. Just like I told this chatter in my chat, is that I'm from India and it's 5 a.m. where I am. Fuck you both. I'm sorry. Like, I'm what you want me to live in the mind frame of your time zone? No, I'm good.
I have a strangely large contingent of people from Scotland. It is the weirdest thing. I love them because all roads lead to Scotland, but it's just kind of strange.
That is strange.
It's
But
oddly specific.
Right. I mean, I can't speak for James because I know his community is a little larger. But I have a lot of foreign chatters as well, and foreign to me, I should say. Like I've got a lot of Europe. I've got a few Asia, as you just heard. I got like India. Well, Asia is in. You know what I mean? Like, shut up. Shut up! I hear the gears turning
I
in
don't
your
know who
head.
I am
Dog, not
anymore. I'm
everything
getting
is a
too
clip
much
that they're
money.
gonna use against us.
Are you did you just get to the internet? The fuck did you just say? Do you not know where you are?
Nope.
Blink twice if you're being held captive. Like,
what do you mean? What are you talking about, bro?
these are oh my god. I just made the mistake of reading chat. Look at me, still making rookie mistakes.
Rookie mistakes.
How we doing, Red?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
No, see, it's like yawning. You yawn in a room full of people, and then everybody else starts yawning. Then they all look at you. They're like, "Thanks, dick. Thanks." Now I'm that guy. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Fucked up over here, man.
Did you know? Fuck you. I'm off a 10-hour shift. Just leave me alone.
Send invite again.
I just talked about horrible fucking politics and political messaging for 6.5 hours.
I would have been right with you if I wasn't somewhere else.
So I'm in real good shape for this now. I'm good to go.
I like a whole like 5-page Google
Invite
Doc
sent.
of all the things I wanted to talk about.
Google, wait, wait. Seriously?
Because I'm I'm getting out of character and actually Marquise. I actually have my first battle rap event coming up. My first battle. So I'm trying to get used to immediately not having to do what I always do and think of everything off the top of my head. I think I end up repeating things. I get locked into a pattern of words and it stops me from being able to explain things properly. And I know I got to be a little bit more efficient with that. So
Looping is the scourge.
you know, if I can memorize my whole album worth of poetry, I could do this. You know.
I'm glad one of us took notes. It makes me feel better. I can say I was part of a prepared panel.
You was practicing for 6.5 hours. You locked in.
Practice?
He's wired in.
Really? We're talking about practice?
Here we go. I can't say no words anymore. And let's just how about this? You know what? Fuck the panel. Let's just jump to the end where we all know this is gonna end. 6-7. Let's just get there now. Let's discuss it. Let's
Ooh, this would be a long one.
It's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long night. Okay, we have a box now. We have progressed.
Yo, let's go box.
What's in the box?
Red, can't you just join the call in?
What's in the box?
Discord?
13 nested scenes.
Yeah, join the call first, then figure out everything else.
How are you kids doing out there? How you living? We all having a good time?
I think Red is having a what is it your kids call it? A crash out?
Existential crisis?
Fuck, you beat me to it. Why did we think of the same thing? Holy, I was like
No,
prepared to say that.
Why am I all old and shit and I'm quicker than you? Damn.
You had a warm up.
I
I
hope you're
sound
not.
just
I
like I
hope you're
did at
not.
table tennis.
I hope your first battle rap ain't gonna be at a fucking senior center.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. See what had happened was.
Gonna do my rap. My hip, my back. Ow.
Hold on, where's my pills? Where's my pills?
Yeah, Paradigm, your camera went all pixelated.
Interesting.
Technical difficulty.
That's funny. It's not.
What?
Oh, it says there's network issues to be resolved. What network issues? The fuck? All right. And boop. And boop.
I'm the star pupil up in this bitch.
On my
Like that.
mother, I don't know what that is. That's different. Can I close the stream? Is it the stream that's fucking it up? Live browsers preview. What? This is I'm actually lost at this point because I don't have any issues. Maximum video quality,
There it
curve
is.
video automatically. Oh, okay. That's so weird.
But now your slideshow.
Yeah, it's okay. Give me a second. It's there. Wow, that's really surprising. It's just the browser itself, because everything else is for once running well. Yeah, they can't see it how we see it. It's clear to us. Inside their window, it's not clear. So they on their streams, they won't be able to see it clearly. That's why I use the virtual camera. I thought it was gonna skip that step, but apparently not. Now I'm off. Switching camera.
How you doing, Globus?
I'm good. Nice job, James. Way to show up if you're ready to go.
You know, someone had to do it. Literally someone, but turns out I was that one. Who knew? Hey, sun shines on a dog's ass some days, right? Just go with that. Do 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 do.
How about now? Do I look better?
You look better. You're tall again. You look compressed, but
I think we
No,
might have to eat that because wait. Oh, I fixed it.
nice job.
Hey.
Hey, Red Oil.
Hey.
Red, did you deactivate your camera in OBS? You might want to deactivate your camera in OBS. Cool.
It should just say that, honestly. Okay, now I can include my camera.
That was the only thing I
Nope,
could
now
think
you're
of if
tall
you're
again.
having that trip because of that camera hub thing you said before. I was like,
Oh, that's how I look to them. That's weird. Dog, it's like the more expensive your camera is, the more they don't want to agree with it. What? I say what?
In chat, I'm gonna upload this entire stream to YouTube unedited, because I don't
job there,
edit
Tilda.
shit. But
Thanks, Tilda.
Oh, yeah, it is performance issues. Twitch can't handle this camera from here. From the stream, yeah, it's actually telling me. Performance issues detected. We have detected performance have automatically adjusted your performance settings to attempt remediation.
I don't got any performance issues. How about you, Glovis?
I fucking hate both of you so fucking much. You have no idea, dog. The way, bitch, the boy. Why did it just kick me out? Can y'all merge
something
chats?
That was good
something
shit.
performance issues.
That was top tier. That was
improv.
I love content that makes itself.
Oh,
really
that's
just-
what I'm here for you. I make you laugh. I'm some.
What am I, a clown?
That's what's happening.
What am I, a clown? I'm here to fucking amuse you, huh? Yeah. It's great, Tommy. Go get your shine
No, you know
box.
what you said.
You motherfucker! It's good times, everybody.
They're enjoying the content, right?
That's right,
Like,
Tommy.
no-
Now go grab your fucking shine box.
in spite of all the technical difficulties, the number of people haven't left. So they're enjoying the
Because they know what the
content.
vibe is. They know we're going to keep it lit. That's for sure. It's
Sure.
just, fuck me.
Maybe they just lost the
It's like-
remote.
I'm trying to give them credit for being the wonderful community that they are and the wonderful chat. You're amazing,
Don't do
chat.
that.
You're amazing. I'm gonna build you up. Other streamers might knock you down, but I'm gonna build you up. You are the wind
You
beneath my
raise
wings.
me up. Sorry, what? Sorry, I heard the Super Bowl's looking for a new halftime performer. I'm just trying to,
No. You can always go watch the Freedom halftime show over at the
Frank
TP
TP?
USA thing. Did you
Yeah,
hear
hopefully
that?
they'll have Lee Greenwood and Laura Trump. That'd be just based. That'd be a fucking tour de force, man.
I think my favorite part of Laura Trump doing Won't Back Down was where she was like resisting doing a Southern accent because she's not Southern, and then inevitably giving up and doing a Southern accent later on in the song. It was kind of hilarious.
Yo, dude, you know what's hilarious? They're gonna get outpointed by the Puppy Bowl, which, let's be honest, it's the best time of halftime at the Super Bowl at this point. No disrespect to Bad Bunny. I'm just saying, like, I make my wife watch a 3-hour football game. In the middle, she's like, "Hey, can we watch 10 minutes of puppies? What are we gonna do? Say no?
Right.
Come on."
They're dogs. They're puppies.
Yeah, Laura Trump and Lee Greenwood are gonna get outpointed by the Puppy Bowl by like a fucking 6-to-1 ratio. It's gonna be really sad.
All right, you're looking good now, Paradigm.
Right. I just wanted to stay this way. Please don't fuck my shit up. Please. It's the same thing. I just switched to Firefox. Please don't fuck my shit up.
I use Firefox and everything works.
Why am I a slide?
I mean, look
now
at it this
I
way.
can see things.
Look at it this way. Your camera's still better than Brad's.
Facts. See, it work. I'm trying to it's like doing something. I can't.
Now it looks perfect, so stop touching things.
Right, I haven't. Is it pixels and I over? Come on, man. Yeah, it is. It is, isn't it? It is. That's funny. It can't do motion. Myself or hide you guys from the layout. Try to save some type of performance here. All right. Yo, we good. We good. We good. I look good. I like that. All right.
You're
I'm good.
a little desynced.
Okay, I think I could fix that.
But look around. See if there's is there anything you could use to construct a rudimentary lathe?
All right, man. When all right, man. Look, see the way you poking at me, you see everybody You know what? Shut up!
I'm not saying anything.
He's arguing with the voices in his head.
Pretty much. Oh, this is good. This is good.
Okay, I think we're good now. I think I've gotten
Hey.
everything. Think I've gotten everything on point.
Now, and I was just about to ask. Redolent is almost back. I too blame Obama. Right? Like ultimately, I blame Obama.
It's fair.
Good, you're on league with our patriotic
And
sense of
performance issues.
me.
Yeah.
That nothing because it looked good on my end. And besides that, like actually, I don't at all. I'm trying to close your stream and just in its resources.
There was a bunch
Let me
of
check
nothing,
browser
gibberish,
resources.
flip floppable, flip toppable,
Anything
flip
when tell him
snoppable.
about his audio?
It
or
was a
should I
bunch
do
of
it?
gibberish, bro.
Synced again?
I want him to think I'm picking on him. So maybe you want to take this one?
Yeah, no, you are desynced and every so often it's clipping.
Is there something that could be running in the background?
If I told him, he'd have thought I was fucking with him. So yeah.
Sharing microphone with Twitch.
This is the advantage of like being a really nice guy, James, is that people tend to take you seriously and think you're not just fucking with them.
Fix your shit paradigm, Jesus fucking Christ.
Dog, your video hasn't popped up the screen. About to be an hour into this. The last thing I want to hear from is the peanut gallery who can't show their face. All right, really, let's put this in perspective for a second. This panel was on. We didn't have camera issues or nothing till about 45 minutes in this bitch, and all of a sudden my shit want to start acting up because whatever browsers, whatever thing. What's your excuse?
Yeah, fix your drivers, man.
And all other cow
I have so many alerts popping off right now.
I still don't have an invite from Globus. He's the one holding it up.
Hour, getting 1 mile per gallon, sucking out porta potty
Bro, you
cheeseburgers
pressed
from
the
McDonald's in
join
the
button. What the
old-fashioned
fuck?
non-biodegradable styrofoam containers. And when I'm done sucking down those greaseball burgers, I'm gonna wipe my mouth of the
Oh, we
American
quiet
flag,
now.
and then I'm gonna
Yeah,
toss
see,
the
people
styrofoam
get
containers
quiet when you
right
ask for the
aside and
reels.
write a goddamn
It says
thing
waiting for
anybody can do
host.
about it.
They
You know
will let you
why?
in when they are
Because
ready.
we got the bombs. That's
What
why.
the fuck
Two
did you
words,
press? There was no
nuclear
host
fucking
button,
weapons,
nothing.
okay?
That was me knocking.
Now you're
Oh,
doubled
yeah, you're in
audio.
here.
Yep.
Yeah,
here
just
it
cut off
goes.
the mic.
Yep.
Oh.
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 That's all you got. No camera.
Note to self: start panel 1 hour earlier.
Yeah, and I got to go in about 30 minutes to go get my kid. All right.
Yeah,
Good?
somebody got to get jumped. After this, somebody got to get jumped. I'm sorry. That's just, and it could be me. I would be okay with it because I would understand. But at the same time, yeah, somebody got to get their ass beat. Sorry.
Somebody at Elgato is going to get their ass beat.
There you go.
What a trash company.
Wow, y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? He hate cats. Somebody at El Gato's gonna get beat up. That's crazy. Starting off spicy.
I hate Spanish cats. Piece of shit. Elgato is so fucking bad. Every time I would just turn off, like plug in the camera or activate it, it would just crash this computer. Like I've never seen it crash this way, and it was never coming back. And the keyboard and everything else lost power.
Never
like, every
seen
single
anything
fucking
like
time.
it before.
I've never seen anything like it. Fucking fuck me, dude. Holy shit.
People are saying it.
Trash company.
So now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the panel.
The what?
The panel.
Oh shit. Okay.
Let's go.
So we have James from the internet, the paradigm shift, and redolent thought, and we are having a discussion about propaganda, which definitely won't be a contentious subject. A couple of like presuppositions, I think, is that we are all, like, generally speaking, of a, you know, if not an ist, we are of a leftist type, denomination, and we generally want what's best for people. We want, housing and medical care and all that kind of stuff. Also, to preempt any conversation of this, no one is expecting, this is entirely voluntary. Any of the things, any of the suggestions that we might make, anything else like that, no one is saying that, for instance, as an example, that any marginalized group needs to stand up and be the forefront and act on the behalf, especially of those of us of the, Caucasian persuasion, right? Like, we're talking about these ideas and we're generally speaking to the communities that we're from. Is that a fair assessment for everyone on the panel?
Thumbs up. You can't see my thumbs up.
Okay. So, propaganda is often looked at as like a dirty word, right? It implies, there's an implication of it tricking people. In spite of the fact, especially for people on the left who happen to feel that way, that the term and the process was used by Lenin, one of the general heroes of the broad left in that regard. Do any of you think that using the term propaganda is the wrong way to go, and we need to propagandize the term propaganda and talk about, like, marketing, or use some other kind of phrasing?
Are we
Now
all
they
just being
want,
polite? We're just waiting to jump in? Okay.
yeah.
Like, okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, part of the problem is, like, if you look at like Edward Bernays' book, Propaganda, he's explaining the function of it, but it's basically like in a positive way.
Mhm.
That book was written in what, 22, was it? I don't know, something somewhere around there.
Right.
Before that. But like, at that same time, you had the start of, officially the declaration of like fascism, and you eventually had people like, pre Stephen Miller, Goebbels, using undermining propaganda, whereas Bernays is using supporting propaganda. And we should probably get into those two differences at some point for this conversation. But like, supporting propaganda, you're pushing a message in, like, hey, we need to, like, have our hospitals be better, and you put out that message with advertising all the time. And then if you're like, undermining propaganda would be something like, oh, we need to fix our hospitals while we're trying to privatize them even more, while gutting the funding of them, like doing like tearing apart the thing while like promoting the message of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if we don't do a better job of understanding the different kinds, then yes, we need to either find a new word, or again, like, do some supporting propaganda for the word propaganda, because everybody just thinks of propaganda now as like the Goebbels, Stephen Miller type.
That's fair. Anybody else?
I don't mind the word propaganda, but I tend to approach things from a non-intellectual standpoint. For those of you who missed it today, it was a throwback. But uh, as somebody who did a lot of time with theory, and now I'm far more interested in practical application than theory, um, while I don't disagree with anything Red said, I would say that from my angle, which again is more just solely about practical application and theory and what flies in the streets, I'm okay with the word propaganda. Because at this point, like, you could weaponize a negative undertone any fucking word, as we found out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 10 years ago, like, for like 4,000 years until 10 years ago, eating soy was totally cool and normal. And yet we somehow took a 4,000-year-old word for delightful bean curd and turned it into something that by its very nature is somehow negatively not masculine. So, I mean, if you could basically create a full negative connotation and undertone for soy, then yeah, I'm not really worried about the words anymore. I'm worried about how people are using them, who's using them that way.
Mm-hmm.
I preferably hate the word for the same reason that James does. I think that on a real life level, I think that I look at things a little on their face too much. So like the word, it's like I got to get rid of the word like. Um there's just too much of an effect on people's cognitive ability to understand sentences. And I think that that comes from being isolated and being able to curate how you talk, who you talk to, and what you talk about instead of being challenged. So, like, when I think about the word propaganda, I think about all the other big words that I was called an Oreo for saying when I was like 9. And it's okay. That was a good laugh. That was it's a good laugh.
I ain't heard
Caught
that
you off
one
guard.
I ain't heard
Right,
that one
like
in a hot minute, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a hot
and
minute.
it's like when I think about that, I think all those words sounded like the word propaganda. It just sounds like another scary thing that people wouldn't understand if you tried. Because in theory, Harry Potter was propaganda. Like in theory, the 95 Theses were propaganda. We could go left, right, how did Christianity start? Like we could just apply it to everything and it starts to become nothing. Could it be just convincing arguments versus lying? Could it be that's why I hate the word. Because
Mm-hmm.
it spurns a clear what do you mean by that type of conversation for me? And I know that that is not how the general populace takes in media or asks questions anymore. Maybe it was like that when I was younger, but also it could be just because I was younger. But I feel like there was more of a want to hear somebody say something and then say, "Hey, I don't get that. What's that about?" Or I'll show an emotion off rip. "Hey, that makes me feel a certain way." Now it's just, "What are you fucking stupid?"
Mm-hmm.
And there's no other thing I can say to any of the things that have ever been presented to me in the last like 7 years. Like, you really believe this? Not because, oh, I could see how you believe it. It makes sense. You know, you're not just randomly, but like, there's no core to it. There's no underlying principle. So the way people feel when they read things, I've already lost my meaning before I've even said anything.
I see.
So I hate the word propaganda.
So within that context, is it something because like I think all of you are on the same, tip as this, is that in order to communicate properly, we need to speak to people where they're at. We're not trying to bring people to where we are. We're trying to talk to them wherever they are because it's going to be more effective. And if their perception of like propaganda, the word, it has a negative connotation, then using that word at all might not be the way to go. Um, that kind of thing. Is that fair?
I'd say so. I definitely say so. And
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it sucks because we're not. Well, we could be. We're just not like authors. We're not philosophical thinkers who are highly respected in the field. You know, we're
Mm.
not college adjunct professors who make freshmen and sophomore students crack open philosophy 101. This is kind of common sense to us because I think that all of us, and that's kind of why I like you guys, all of you think beyond the veil of popularity, the common thought. You know, you ask questions, you investigate. There's some willingness that makes me think you care about what you're saying, therefore you wouldn't just blurt out whatever you could to make a point. There's gravity to what you say. You lived it, or you've been around people who lived it, or you lived with people, you heard the stories. There's something that tethers your ideas to the ground. With everyone else though, I mean, damn, I would love to live in a fantasy land like some of these people, man. I would love it. I would love to be so ignorantly blissful of the way the world works that I could legitimately be afraid of watching a Harry Potter movie because it's witchcraft and we don't allow that in our house. Like, I would kill for just a thing that was normal, but none of this is normal. And when I ask people to explain what they feel, they can't. So, like, why do you feel that way at all? Is it just because you have nothing else? That's a sad existence.
Golf clapping.
Oh.
I agree.
Can't see your zombie hands.
Yeah, sorry. Something that Paradigm said and that Globus kind of hinted at with the question, I guess, was made me think of. I had to pull it up just so I can get this out of the way because I brought it up in my little thing while I was making sure everything didn't crash right now. But I just wanted to put out like the actual definitions of supporting propaganda and undermining propaganda.
Sure.
Just pulled them up, Jason Stanley. And the thing that people don't understand about these things is that supporting propaganda sounds positive, but it can be very negative too. Like Stephen Miller can do supporting propaganda for "I hate everybody who doesn't look like me" stuff. And then undermining propaganda, undermining propaganda could be good, which is what I wanted to get into. That was my idea for like how the left can be better, but I'll save that. But here you go. Supporting propaganda. This is Jason Stanley, page 52 of How Propaganda Works. It's a great book. It's a bit of a slog. A contribution to public discourse that is presented as an embodiment of certain ideals, yet is of a kind that tends to increase the realization of those very ideals by either emotional or other non-rational means. Right? Like I'm presenting the embodiment of an ideal, and it's going to increase the people's realization of those ideas, what it means, right? Very basic. Undermining propaganda, a contribution to public discourse that is presented as an embodiment of certain ideals, yet is of a kind that erodes those very ideals. So that's supporting and the undermining. We mostly get a lot of like undermining propaganda from like this administration. When they say things, when you have Mike Johnson saying Republicans are the ones who are care about healthcare, not the Democrats, and you're like, that is undermining propaganda. Their audience hears that and goes, yeah, they're the ones who want to give us healthcare because he just said that. Meanwhile, they're the ones that are shutting down the government because they want to destroy Medicaid and fuck over 15, 16 million people, 20 million people just right now. Forget about long term, but like, so that's like an idea of like undermining propaganda. Anyway, so just wanted to get those definitions out there. If you hear me blathering on about them, but I think like there's ways to use undermining propaganda in a positive way. Like if we were to say like we're for capitalism, absolutely, while we actually do policies to get more like socialism in the government down the road if we ever regain power, et cetera, et cetera. But I just wanted to get that out of there. And while I'm going to listen to you on the phone, while I literally ask Miss Thought if she can pick up one kid and drop off the other kid, since it took so long to get this fucking started. All right.
So within that, that leads me to a question: is it ethical? Because I go back and forth with this as a concept. Is it ethical to trick people for their benefit?
I mean, can I start with the caveat that ethical is a loaded term of variable value, depending upon the person using it. Just saying.
Let me give you some more
Okay.
more concrete.
I didn't know if you wanted to rephrase that or not.
No, it's fine. I'll always rephrase it if you like. I can give a more concrete example. Is it like, let's say, universal health care? If we were to use, propaganda, trickery, and whatever in order to, for whatever given value of the word trick, to trick people into supporting universal health care, we all agree, I think, that healthcare for everyone isn't a positive ideal. So we would be giving them something that would definitely improve their life, given all the caveats of how it's administered, et cetera, et cetera. But like, would it be ethical to trick them into supporting that universal healthcare? through trickery.
Right, you're talking about telling kids that if they eat their vegetables, then Santa will probably come and bring them. Yeah, that's the you're asking the Santa Claus question.
Yes.
Is it cool to tell your kids that there's an invisible guy who watches everything they do to get them to behave better if it's in their own best interest?
Yeah.
Um,
Real quick,
so
I think you
yeah.
might need to change your gait just a little because we're losing you a little bit. Or yeah, move the mic closer if you want to do that.
Sorry, I'm used to doing it on stream. It's a
You're
little
good.
different on
You're
Discord. So you probably heard a little bit of my spiel earlier today, and I mean you've been around for a long time, so you know my deal. Um, God, this it sounds gross and unpopular when I say it, so I'm
Mhm.
sorry that this is going to offend people if you haven't heard this already. But
Offend us.
people want to be told what to do, and people want to be led. So I don't have any problem because you're literally improving the behavioral pattern of the majority of people by doing so. It's just like when you say it, everybody automatically gets pissed because it's the left, and the left has been built on consent, and consent is built on free will. And how could you talk about subverting people's free will? And I'm not talking about subverting people's free will. I'm saying that most people want free will in theory, but want their life to be a lot simpler and have to think less and operate on autopilot more, which is the very same reason why there's animal trails out in the woods, because the animals will walk along the same path, which is the easiest route time and time again, rather than trying to find a faster path. Like once they have a comfortable path, they move on it. I don't find anything wrong with it because I think it's built into human behavior on a macro level.
Yeah,
I agree with most of that. There's been multiple studies over the last couple decades. I think there was one in 2011. There was one in like 2018. One in like 40% of our population wants authoritarianism. This is pre-Obama, during Obama, Trump. Like 40% of the country, based on their answers, without being told, would you like authoritarianism? Like they answered the questions of like an authoritarian type like setting, and people 40% of people during all these studies are like, yep, absolutely, that sounds great. But then you also think of like why so many people would, and why people want to be told what to do. And I feel like a huge part of that, just to fight for the arts, I'm not going to get into jazz, Globus, don't worry, but like what are the options that this society gives people? Because we have, you know, when after high school and after college, if you go there, or trade school or whatever, what are your options? Your options to get a job, work the 9 to 5, or work whenever you work, slog through, pay your bills, and just like continue trying to survive in this like capitalistic society, instead of having the time to go, you know what, I want to learn how to play the piano. I'm going to take 6 months to teach myself that because it really speaks to me and I'm really inspired by something. We don't have a society that allows for these things to happen. You get in the slog, and once you're in that fucking meat grinder, you just want like not to think about things. If you're going to have kids, you just want your kids to be able to have a decent enough upbringing, so then they can go into the slog with like, you know, hopefully better tools than you. And that's like we don't have like a lot of options the way that society is structured. So yeah, just tell me what to fucking think. Tell me what to do, and I'm on board. I think that's what a lot of people get to. Sorry, I know you can't see my camera. I'm done. I'm done talking. Oh, also a little update. I do have to go pick up the girls, drop them off, but then I don't have to pick up the other one. So I will be gone for like 15 minutes, and then I'll be back, and then no more interruptions.
Right on.
In like 20 minutes. I'll wave my hands when I'm leaving for 15 minutes. Okay.
You wave your hands. Y'all are wild.
Okay, so I am going to agree with what everyone said, but I think by default of how I work, I'm gonna push it just the tiniest bit further. And when I say further, it's gonna get dark real quick. Not only do people like to be told what to do, I don't think so many people should have an option. Now, why do I think this? Because I think that at the core of every human soul, there exists a hobby, a purpose, an art that they want to do. I cannot shackle them around wanting to do that. I shouldn't have to tell them to get a second job so they can afford enough money to buy the piano to teach themselves a lesson. I think people should have a choice in being able to just smoke weed. They find out about weed once, it hooks them. That's all they want to do for the rest of their life. I think that most people, if given the option to do that one thing and not have to worry about anything else, would do that one thing. In order for that to happen, I'm going to have to tell them at some point or another, look, I'm going to run things and you're going to get what you want, but that's kind of it. I'm not going to come back around in 5 years and say, would you like to change? This is your life now. And as Redolent said, the system we live in doesn't give us that ability to make those decisions where we want to take 6 months off to discover ourselves. But you hear college kids get told a lot, oh, leave college and, explore for a year, decide what you really want. Impossible for somebody who's trying to use that college degree to help pay the bills by getting a better job so their family can get out of poverty, or at least attempt to. With all these things locked into place, there are some people who want to live off the land. There are some people, you're all going to get that, but that's all I can give you. Does that make sense? Is it ethical to trick people? They're already being tricked. The human language has been absolutely overtaken and over destroyed by anybody and everything that can advertise. What the fuck is a McDonald's? Why the fuck can't Jesse Waters rap? I need answers to questions and I'm never gonna get them. Why is it that people can go on live television and get somebody kicked off the air for saying a sentence they can interpret differently, but then when they say we should 69, 86, all these people, they say that's cool.
Wait,
at
are we
some
69
point,
or 86?
Those are two completely different ideas.
Yeah, very.
Those are two completely different ideas. You're talking about only giving people one option, then you throw both of them on the table? Like,
but anyway, yeah, they are two different options. You got me on that one.
Suck my dick while I suck your dick, or get in the hole, motherfucker.
Wait, I get an option?
It's for me.
That's cake or death. That's the new cake or death.
It's just, I would do the whole school thing, learn about the world, learn about everything, but there's just so many different ways that we could educate a populace to exist. And at this stage, with iPhones and Coca-Cola bottles and you can order weed online, I cannot trust leadership to every person. I cannot trust the free will of every person. Because if I could give you what you want in life, security, safety, the possibility, at least the chance of raising a family and never having to think about that child growing up without a Santa Claus or whatever, if I could just do that, I need absolute control. Because that seems to be the only way that people like us will ever get a look at anything that the rich have ever had. If somebody like us was to say, you know what, I know what it's like to be poor, I'm going to eliminate every concept of everything that makes me feel poor. Somebody has to do that. I can't give that agency to everyone because then everybody's going to want a PS5. I don't want a PS5. Everybody else wants a PS5. Why don't I give you the PS5s instead of all of you having one and then looking at me like I'm crazy for not having one? I truly believe that when it comes to being ethical, into fooling people into believing something, that's what people do in friendships, relationships. That's what children do to their teachers. That's what teachers do to their students. There's too many variables about what people care about for me to trust that this information you're giving me, this feeling that you're giving me is genuine. So until we reach a point where nobody got to hide behind that mask and we can be genuine about what we want, yeah, you're all falling for it. Because you're already all falling for it. You think that a dog had a shot collar around their neck because some racist in a place called Roach Ranch told you to. You don't care about where it came from. It just makes you feel something. I'm going to make you feel good. And if it doesn't make you feel good, I will fix that for you, because that's where my journey or my goal ends. You should feel good. You should feel good about yourself. You shouldn't have to harm others to feel anything. You shouldn't have to change people's minds to be negative to feel anything. We could just be good. Good to an extent, you know?
Oh, it pulls back on the good to an extent at the end. I like that. I unless anybody else wants to jump in real quick, I have a lot of thoughts on that, which is like I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm gonna fine tune some of your
I
things there
appreciate that.
about
Thank you.
You
like
do
if you
that.
want to.
Hold on. Give me like 10 seconds while you do that.
Okay. Okay.
No, he's 10 seconds walking away, so you can go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. I thought he was like
Yeah, right.
going to talk for 10 seconds and then he turned. Okay. All right, James. So I've had thoughts of this. If there was actual meritocracy, I'm adding what I've thought about that kind of thing to your, if you want to just smoke weed the whole time, that's your thing and we got you. You know, but like I would do a few more things. Like if you just like every year, if you want to smoke weed for the year and you're like, I think I'm over weed, well, we don't banish you to a lifetime of being stuck in like a small apartment smoking weed and you don't have to like work. Like smoking weed, we got you. But then, yeah, like if you're like, oh, my life is just smoking weed and I don't need any support for this, then you don't get to like live in like the beach house down in Malibu. You know, you get like, yeah, we'll put you in you know, you got a TV, you got your PS5, you got all those things, but you get like the apartment in downtown LA that you know, doesn't have much of a view, you know. But if you're like some like amazing artist, or if you're like an athlete, like yeah, you know, like yeah, sure. Or if you're a brilliant scientist, you should be having like one of those mansions.
So like
You know,
reverse
like
means testing.
Say that again. Sorry, my little one just
Sorry.
walked in to let me know I need to take her to martial arts.
So like reverse means testing.
Kind of, yeah. But like sort of like what did you bring to society actually? Like if you have someone like helping, if somebody cures cancer, I'm like, give that person the nicest life. I don't need them like, you know, they've contributed the same way that like, okay, Jeff Bezos did like the online bookstore and then he turned it into this thing. We should take Amazon and make that like a government thing, and then he shouldn't have to worry about like paying his bills anymore, because you know, but like we take that great thing that was started, you know, granted during hi, no, they can't see you, there's no camera. Yeah, get out of here. She's like waving in my face and yeah, get out of here. 5 minutes. Nope, I gotta go right now. Okay, let me finish that thought. But like if something like that happens, like great, you did this thing and fantastic, because you're gonna have people who are like, you know, just like now, like just having families, like raising families. Nope, I'm being told I got to go right now. Anyway, okay, I'm doing a James right now. Bye.
So I see a little bit of a concern, and I'm just going to have to reiterate what Globus has said earlier. These are not suggestions about how we walk through life every single day. This is it. The more that you add on top of the the world that we live in top of right now has caveats in every single direction that would force us to fine tune these things.
Mhm.
We are not trying to fine tune these things right now. We are talking more esoterically. There are no actual solutions within what we are feeling out. We're trying to get to a point about a word and
Right.
how that like navigates our understanding of the world.
Right. And
Like
we're exploring ideas in a relatively safe environment. You know, nobody's gonna jump in anyone's shit and like get zingers and clips and all that crap, you know.
right.
This is to talk about these ideas. It's um it like my statement, first off, to reinforce what Paradigm just said, the idea from State and Revolution, for all you leftist theory nerds, State and Revolution, Lenin said that the future communist state will be built by the, you know, people who grow up under socialism, you know. So it's that kind of thing, right? Like that might be an idea for down the road built by other people who have lived under a better system, right? A more ethical system. But my concern, and to echo what a lot of people had in chat, is like, if we were to turn around today and be able to implement this kind of system, that reverse means testing as a concept feels, I don't want to go to so far as to say it feels ableist, but it definitely is going to discriminate against people. Like, it's redlining all over again, just not necessarily about race, but then it's going to feed back into race, because it's going to, the opportunities that people have already had. It's like, if we go ahead and implement a new system today, like the libertarian ideal, okay, there are no rules and y'all laissez-faire, and they go ahead and the people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, who have all the money, are going to buy up all the shit, and it's going to turn into a monopoly, right? Like, that's just how that's going to work. And to create a system that, like, I don't see a reason why we can't just say, like, yeah, not everyone can live in Malibu because real estate in Malibu is a finite resource, but not everybody wants to live in Malibu, right? James, for instance, likes the fall and the changing of the seasons. I would like to live in like a San Diego type climate where it's 72 every day. Like, I just happen to live in Buffalo because it's New York and better like that.
I like this. I like this point right here, because me and Cagnadian
Yeah.
were already talking about this. Remember that now the standard is a dignified life, regardless of status.
Right.
Which is what we had actually already started out by saying. That's why I even brought up what was happening there, because I'm like, I feel like we're having fun with the conversation and moving off the point so we can explore the outer realms of it, because we don't do surface level analysis, and people just didn't hear the beginning.
No, that's fair. That's fair. In the
Yeah.
context that what we're talking about is, everyone has, like, the floor is a, what, let's say, a more ideal middle class lifestyle in the United States in like the 1980s, right? Like, if that's our floor, then yeah, we can talk about some people having more for doing more for society, potentially, right? Like, as long as everyone's getting what they need, then we could talk about other shit.
And that's why I could bring it back to the point we were making. That's why I even said I wouldn't give people a choice, because see, the moment we bring up choice, that gives you an option to say, well, somebody's going to get this and somebody's going to get that. I'm going to be real with you. I can move everybody into a fancy apartment. I cannot move everybody up into the penthouse, because there's not enough space for the building to live in the penthouse. Who gets the penthouse could be a flip of a coin, as long as it's equal, fair, and just to the people that will have a dignified life. I've already moved past that. Like, we're already past that. We're so far past that. Like, everybody's getting to live downtown. We just got to figure out where. And then I'll put in a ramp. See, I'm thinking about it all. I'll put in a ramp.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna blow a hole in your theory, and I'm gonna blow your mind here.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go for it.
So part of this falls into the whole like duopoly of man thing. So here's the trick. Now, I've been saying the sentence for a long time. The whole all people want to be told what to do, all people want to be led. And then of course everybody wants to be the exception. I go, no, not me. I get that. So here's the flip side of that coin is, while simultaneously all people want to be told what to do and all people want to be led, all people also want to believe that what they're doing was their idea. So you can't turn around and be like, I'm not going to give you a choice. I'm just going to do the thing because I know it's the right thing. You have to offer a choice and an alternative, and then propagandize people to choosing the choice you want them to choose, because it's their idea. Because the best way to sell an idea to somebody else is to lead them to the point, then have them go, blah, 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 the point. And they go, ha, I came up with that point. I'm a fucking genius. That's why I'm going to do this thing. That's the entire key to propagandizing people, is the illusion of choice. Because if you don't leave the illusion of choice, that's authoritarianism. That's completely getting rid of consent and free will. So if you only have one choice, then you don't need to propagandize because you could just use authoritarianism and bludgeon everybody into fucking concession. The
Right.
whole concept is you have to give people an option that's just slightly less palatable than the one you're offering. Because if it's an astronomical difference, people are going to be like, something about this doesn't smell right. So you got to offer people 1 and 1A, knowing that 1 is the only choice, so that they choose 1 over 1A, because 1A doesn't exist.
Right. And
But if they believe 1A is an option and they go, but I'm going to choose 1, then you're like, that's a good idea.
Isn't it still authoritarianism just with an illusion? No, because the choice I'm giving you is not going to lock you down. That was the point of what we had just said.
Right.
Everything that we just said is about that one point. I'm giving you a life for
a whole bunch of things before we got to the thing that we're talking about now. And I think what James just said speaks to the different kinds of propaganda that Red quoted from the book earlier. He's talking about the positive and negative propagandas. No, it's fine. Like, we understand.
Trust me,
that
we
people
know.
are coming in, and we're willing to give you the short version to get you back up to speed.
Oddly enough, my short version was exactly to where you got. See,
Right.
it was. I've been preaching this for like a long fucking time before I like fully grasped it, which, to be honest, is how most people come to like a well-defined version of their idea. You know, you workshop shit for years, like kind of like bouncing through life or just having conversations with people. It's always a fine line. Like the whole idea we were talking about like the Trump thing earlier today and how the taco thing came to be. The Trump always chickens out. Trump's like, if we have a shutdown, the whole economy is going to crater. And then we had a shutdown. Then he's like, well, we had a shutdown. The Democrats can come back, or I don't know. Maybe there will be furloughs. Then it was the Democrats have to come back, or else people will lose their job. Like, he keeps trying to give people 1 and 1A, but 1A is like D.
Right.
And he doesn't realize it, which is why they're not biting. Like, he's been going with the fear propaganda for so long that once somebody is no longer motivated by fear, then you have to go back to the 1A. And he's not giving the 1A. He's doing the carrot and the stick, but the carrot's old and moldy. And he just keeps hitting you with the stick while he's like, don't you want the carrot? Don't you want the carrot? And you're like, seriously? Like, a lot of it is to do with execution.
Right.
Right. And I think that's where, that's why I start to think to myself that I always try to push that envelope. Because for me, having this conversation is not to say redundant in my worldview, but y'all know what New York is like. So it's like at some point you got to grow up and you got to know, like, you got to keep your head on a swivel. It puts you in a position where you start talking to people and people like you, or people fuck with your ideas or whatever, and it really gives gravity to, hey, I think if you think this thing, I could probably tell you why this is wrong, or this is different, or this is not exactly what you think it is. And you'll trust my opinion on it with whatever I bring to it because you trust me first. Cult of personality type stuff. The disconnect is so deeply off for me because, as James just said, he's giving you 1 and D. It's like number and letter. You used to joke about that in your sitcoms. You made your culture, your water cooler culture, around this type of discourse. This, pivot, pivot, pivot. Everybody was saying pivot for like 3 years. I'm Rick James. Like, it was continuous. It was not coagulant. It was together. Everybody knew what was going on. Now everybody is pretending they don't know what's going on. You have to be pretending because I know you're smart enough because you didn't die yet. Like, this is the type of, like, walk off a cliff and you'll fly type. Like, what am I to do with a group of people who will walk off a cliff if just the right person tells them to? Like,
sell them
none of
insurance.
you feel me? Like,
I mean, if they're going to anyway, just saying.
Sell the houses to who, Ben? That's a real thing now. That's an actual real concern with Florida insurance companies. Sell the houses to who? And you still got the governor of Florida being the governor of Florida.
You know, we have a segment on my stream where once a week we go to Zillow and we see how many houses are for sale in Florida. And I'm boggled. Like when we talk about like 1 and then 1A versus like option 1 and then option like F minus. Like, do you know there's still a whole ass Florida Board of Tourism that like spends millions of dollars a year to encourage people to visit or move to Florida, where you literally can't even insure a fucking house against floods, wind, storm, or mold? Like, that is like the ultimate choice A and choice Z. Like, and motherfuckers still move there. Because they're like, if you move here, you're part of the cult. And people are like, the cult?
Exactly. Like, what? Oh my God.
Now you got my interest.
He's doing the Peter Griffin. It's the fucking volcano insurance. And that's what I mean.
Hey, Wallace.
Matter of fact, that's a greater definition of what I mean about the no choice. I can't let you move to Florida. Not because you can't move to, I mean, you could, but then I'm going to tell you, you can't get any of the benefits of the other 49 states right now, or any state that's landlocked. That's how capitalism has framed it just now. We just went through that with that segment you just said. Now, I'm just telling you, because of our actions in humanity, no, Florida's a bad place to be. And I can't guarantee you insurance on anything you have. You could lose it all the moment you get down there. One way or another, capitalism was the goal that let everybody do what they want, and we got there. Me telling them we got there and this is what it's going to be like now, I get a problem of understanding why those are different. Does that make sense? The way the world normally works got us here. This is what it is. I'm telling you, we're here and this is how it has to be.
It makes sense.
Why is it different?
Well, it makes sense to me. That's literally why we're doing this. And I've been on this, propaganda marketing aspect of the entire thing for ages now. And I finally, pulled the trigger and, started working on getting the panel to discuss these ideas, because in this context, it's like, and again, a little something for the theory nerds is like you had your Marxism, and then you got your Marxism Leninism, which is your Marxism as it works in Russia at that time. And then you have your Marxism Leninism Maoism as it works in China at that time. And then you have, what happened in Vietnam with Uncle Ho, because that worked for Vietnam at that time. All these things are like, let's call them a progressive revolution within the space that was catered to what was going on within that space. And in order to do some of those, the positive, we're only talking about the positives, right? The positive aspects of like, healthcare and housing and all this kind of stuff is to conform the ideas to Americans, right? Like, what do Americans like? I started off the stream with a video from 2016 of John Cena walking down the street talking about America and patriotism and all that, and my man's talking, and you can't love America unless you love black people and Latino people and the disabled and bi and transgender, and I was like kind of blown away by like how deep he went into that. And I was like, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, can we take ideas like patriotism and freedom as Americans understand it and all those kind of things and co-opt these terms that Americans already identify themselves with and then present better ideas to get them to the place where they could actually get the things that they think they're going to get if they go with what the Republicans are selling them.
I would like to answer from a young perspective.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's why you're here.
Yes, you can. And the way I'm going to say yes, you can is because I've already done it as a teacher through art. I hate to say that you need some form of authority because that's how most people respond to this shit is by an authoritative figure, a smart figure, you know, Bill Nye the Science Guy, even though we're still in the, you know, the left-right discourse where everybody who believes that creationism is a right winger and everybody who believes in evolution is a left winger because that's how simple people think it is. I think that what made me such an effective teacher, and when I say effective teacher, I really want to stress this because it's going to come from the heart and not from, you know, the paradigm entertainment shit. I think the reason why a lot of students felt safe with me is because I didn't give them the illusion that they knew things. I really let them know that they were like not at all ready for what was out there, but they could be. And when I say out there, I'm not talking about like the dangers of the world. I mean, like, why is math important? I mean, like, why is reading a book important? Analyzing things. And I made them face that, especially through photography and filmography. I made them face that by looking at themselves. You hear the words coming out of your mouth. You see that and you want them to be a certain intent. I want to be like the movie stars. Why am I on camera and it doesn't feel the same? Because you have to challenge yourself to feel things that you read on paper in a different way. You have to embody the words. It could be the same with any sport, it could be the same with any hobby, any subject. But what you really have to do if you want to change this zeitgeist, I think that's the right word, but most people would probably just say paradigm in this shot. I think what you have to do is, or what we're going to have to do in a real scale sense, is authority doesn't have to be certified, but it has to be accepted in a certain way. This is what I don't know. This is where I end up for the first time, and I know it sounds like I know everything. I think this is where I end up in the dark area. Like, I want people to be teachers, educators, sharers, but I need there to be a system in place that a community can trust. Whether it be East Harlem, whether it be New York City as a whole, whether it be a state, you know, most people would say, aren't you just talking about creating the Department of Education? Yeah, actually, yeah. But like, for people, not for a standard. There's a reason why other school systems in other countries reach higher heights. A lot of what we teach in the US right now, Common Core, is all brought up from like amalgamations of other pieces of education systems. We don't have our own identity. I think in this country, if we want to propagandize people and get words and feelings to change, you have to have a podium and people have to be willing to listen. I really hate saying you're going to hand power to maybe the wrong person, but I think maybe we should just make better people famous.
Well, I'm not talking about like power structures around that. I'm talking about motivated individual, right? Like, because any person, not every person on this platform who claims or even exhibits leftist ideals, let's say, has the best of intentions. But I believe that a bunch of them do, especially when they're smaller, right? Smaller leftist type streamers tend to be about the love of the game, right? Like they have something to say and they want to talk about ideas and they want to put forth those ideas. And generally speaking, now there are people who come into chats and they have not good intentions, the right wingers or whatever like that. And we're not talking to those people either. We're talking about the people who really don't have a good political identity internalized, where they have a good their political identity is kind of like buffet style. They like this and they like that and they like this and they like that. A lot of their choices are based on the marketing that's already been done to them. And so what I think that people need to do, or like that a tool that should be made available to those people to make it in, let's say, what I think people should do, um, is to communicate with those people in a way that's going to appeal to those people to get them to listen to the rest of your sentence, right? Like, because if you start popping off with, you need to read Capital first off, and you need to, read this book by Lenin. There's a bunch of people who are just going to tune you out because they think Lenin bad, because Soviet Union bad, because communism bad, because of all those kind of things. It's going to shut off. Where if you communicate them to the ideals that they endorse, right? Like they endorse ideas, again, patriotism. Your average like liberal independent in the United States is going to identify with like patriotism. They think that their country is a good place, right? And the truth is that it has a long history of being a not good place. But how do you communicate to them in a way where they don't just shut down, because you're going to destroy the entire structure of the identity that they built their ideas on since they were a child, and you are not going to be there to help them reconstruct their worldview. It's like elevator pitching.
G shit, I would just, I hate this. I hate what I'm about to say because it's what James said, but I'm gonna try to make it serious, which is a bad idea. It's the Santa theory again. Like your parents broke your heart when they told you Santa wasn't real, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got over it, right? Get over this. Like, there's gonna come a point, and I'm taking it out of the context of our conversation and applying it to the real world. There's already come a point where people will just believe anything. Like, given enough views, given enough traction, people will just believe anything.
Right, but
how do I get them? So I'm like, what I'm saying is, how do I get them to disable? How far can I reach into a person? How far can I reach into a person to get them to turn that piece of themselves off if it had already been turned off in their lives?
Right. But
what do I
I'm
connect
talking
it
about
to?
it hasn't been turned off. So James, and I'm going to kick this over to you but I'm going to set it up, is when you talk about talking to people in sports bars using sports, right? As your vehicle for leftist theory. Go.
So I exist in a weird place where I enjoy lots of leftist theory, and I still enjoy weird things like sport ball. And at first, like when I was still like a normie sport ball enjoyer, and then I started like getting politic as, like I evolve like most people do. And I kept going to sport bar, but I noticed I had more and more difficulty with the people I was around, the general environment, bro dudes get drunk and all of a sudden everything's an F slur. And, all of a sudden you're like, the part of your brain that's now like mildly educated is like, that's wrong. And so then, you got three choices, which is you castigate them, which you're supposed to do if you're a good leftist, but then it leverages you out of a position to manipulate those people down the road. You could just be quiet and let it roll, but you're passively reinforcing that negative behavior. Or C, you roll with it and then you introduce an idea that is very similar and becomes more appealing, which is very similar to what I said before. So the understanding is part of this is the whole meeting people where they are and talking to them in their own language. If I'm like talking to somebody in a sports bar and I'm going to talk to them about, you know, labor value theory, or fucking I'm going to talk to them about capital control as both an aggressive and a passive system of dominating society or whatever. It doesn't matter. The second you start using words like labor theory, value, fucking, it doesn't matter. Like people just glaze over because they don't have the context for it. I can go into any sports bar in America and I could talk to any normie, and inside of a half an hour, I can have them thinking like a leftist without saying a single leftist word or using a single leftist theory or saying, but Marx said, because there are parallels that make it easier for me to lead somebody there if I understand the language they talk, the language I'm trying to get them to understand and what the correlation is. So if I talk to somebody about how, hey man, isn't it really fucked up that the guy who owns Home Depot just like fucking rang $2 billion of fucking taxes out of us for fucking parking spots so this prick can build a new stadium? I'd be like, hey, that guy's a fucking prick. They're like, dude, did you see how much money that guy got in like fucking free money from the government? They're like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking welfare queen. And you're like, cha-ching. And you're like, and I didn't even have to say it. And now all of a sudden, instead of this guy correlating welfare with black women with 3 kids who can't be bothered to keep the father around, now instead their hog brain now correlates that word with old rich white guy. And I've literally done propaganda doing nothing more than talking to them about characters that they like in a story that they like in a language that they understand. And I didn't have to beat them over the head with anything intellectual, a big ass fucking book, or a piece of theory.
See, here's my
because I gave them 1A.
Right. Here's my thing. And I know that we spoke about this earlier. I'm bringing it up again. That Globus had mentioned at the beginning that this isn't going to be a catch-all for different experiences in life due to marginalized
Yeah, this is a
status.
very specific example.
Yeah, no. That's my feelings when I have conversations with people. I can also go into public places like bars, like I used to go with my friend Dan. I usually end up with a white dude. And he usually takes me to places full of white people. And I'll just have these
Let's
natural
cop problems. Let's cop problems.
Unfortunately, Baltimore, dog, just y'all heard the story of it. Y'all know. Yeah, I'm never going back. Anyway, I love you, Endless, but you got to come up here. I have these conversations anytime I go outside, and there's never any theory. There's never any words that are just like, yo, what's poppin'? Like, you saw that shit on the, yeah, and you saw the bald-headed dude? He was saying that weird shit, bro. And it's like, that's literally how my conversations end up. And then you'll see people start to kind of open up and say, that actually doesn't make me feel good. Like, what does that mean in general? Do you know anything about that? And then I could just explain the situation as a normal person would. They're kind of nuts, they're kind of crazy, and I don't know, man. Shit revving up. Better get your food stamps in order, get your last check. You're gonna have to start getting your money up. And it works for them. And I fear that when I apply that out loud, that comes across very harsh because I can't find the words to say, I don't think that the fact that we're having this conversation means we're going to get somewhere. And that's to the people, like, if I'm trying to do the sports ball thing. I got to get used to that. That's a good one, sports ball. Like, I watch basketball clips on my stream. And, like, I shut off all conversations at that point. And I'm just talking about the basketball. Because at some point, yeah, go ahead.
Just from a technical aspect, paradigm in the stream together window, you need to share chat. I just realized that we weren't sharing the chat. and it'll put my chat and your chat together, and there we are. We're good to go.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is
Okay,
caring.
am I in there now?
Yep, everything's
Yes.
good because I can see it.
Oh, okay.
Because I got your stream up on my phone. That's
Yeah,
how I
y'all been
realized.
missing the Cagnadian paragraphs. Oh shit. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering. I thought it was like like I was only seeing everybody else's, and like since I had mine open, it was just gonna show mine. Bitch, I said share chat. Anyway, I wonder how much of this conversation for me is understanding that people don't want to hear that bullshit from a black man. Like, I don't want to hear the uppity tight words, the don't put on airs. Tell me what's happening. Tell me how much money I'm going to get for them stimmy, and tell me what I got to do for the next couple weeks to survive. If I could fix that, and not fix it like it's a problem, it's broken. If I could raise that type of consciousness all across conversations, level them all down to, hey, does this make you feel good? Do you think it makes your neighbors feel good? We already don't like police. So having a conversation about ICE is pointless. If you bring the conversation to me, I'm just going to say, look at the history. Now, if you don't want to look at the history, I'm going to ask you yet again, does that make your neighbors feel good? Does that make you feel good? And depending on the answer I get there, I always find it difficult to move forward. Like I can have normal conversations in public. That's easy. But that's because I believe that those conversations, at least from what I've gathered being everywhere that I've been, a lot of those conversations feel like they have to have a natural end. We're not going to stay here forever. How do I take that not going to stay here forever? I promise you, I'm not bullshitting you. I'm smoking a blunt with you. I'm drinking a drink with you. We're watching the football game. Like, how do I get that feeling to exist within actual theory? Like, instead of the words Marxist Leninism, how do I be like, hey, let's share a beer and talk about how your life is?
Mm-hmm.
That's Marxist. That's Marxism to me. Let me share a beer with you and explain to you. Just tell me how your life is. Just let's just chat. You like this game up here? I like it too. How do I get every single person to just face themselves, watching a game, chilling with the homeboys, and saying, I actually don't feel good. I never thought about it like that. I don't feel good. All right, well, what you want to do about it? Because I feel like that's where the right is really good at propagandizing. That's how they get people, because they give them an action, an enemy. We know this, of course, but like they give them a target. They give them a goal to reach.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is always negative. The goal is always hurting people. That can't be a standard. That had to have been formed, which, obviously political history, Southern switch. Incoming joke. We didn't finish Reconstruction and I hate it.
And
we didn't finish Reconstruction and I hate it.
That bit at the end there about how the right is very good
How's
at
that a joke? I agree.
Providing them with a call to action, right? Even if it's just, focusing their attention on someone else to demonize, that thing exists within those people. And again, I'm not necessarily, there's a movie called Brexit, right? And it's Benedict Cumberbatch, and it's about Brexit, obviously. And in the movie, he's talking about, okay, so here's the people who are going to vote for
I've never
our
heard
thing.
his name pronounced that way.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
You said botch.
Did I say botch? I don't know. I don't listen to me. Why
I was like,
should
is
you?
that how you say it? Jesus. Okay.
So these are the people who agree with us, and we already got them locked in. And then here are the people who don't agree with us, and fuck all them. And then this is everyone else, and these are the people I actually care about, right? Like the I don't care about like the hardcore MAGA folk, right? The people who are still giving him 38% approval, the 27% who are answering, that they're happy with the direction the country's going, all those kind of folks. I care about them in the grand sense, but I don't care about them for the purposes of trying to convince them in an argument, and not an argument, but convince them through this propaganda. I'm after the people in the middle, right? Like, I'm after the people who kind of go, the buffet style people, where they're like, they want to, they care about people enough that they want to help them, but everything that they've been given has been framed through a neoliberal kind of lens, so they tie everything to like a capitalist solution or a means tested solution, and giving them a different way to go about it, a different call to action that they can utilize. Red, you've been gone for a minute. You got any thoughts?
Oh, so I was good. Yeah, Redolent. Can I ask you a question to piggyback off that?
As long as it's not the one about.
You want another one?
That's a dad fucking joke, John Wayne.
No, God, no. This is too.
I miss John Wayne. I missed like 5 minutes.
This is too good to break this up. No, I was gonna ask. On top of that, do you feel or have you ever thought about how these conversations resonate with people, like their purpose? Like, do you ever think about how you appear to people when you end up in this type of tangent in your personal life? Like, we were talking earlier, I don't know if you were here, that's why I'm doing this. We were talking about sharing sports bars and having conversations that are just normal, natural, and you get to point to things. How does that work in your life? And that's what I'm attaching to the Globus thing.
That was one of the things that, I missed like 3 or 4 minutes when I was actually picking up my girl, because you had to show them IDs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I talk about this kind of stuff all the time. I'm a bartender by day, and a lot of that is like, I'm a musician, and then broke my wrist and had to become a bartender to like get paid and shit. So like, a lot of the things with like hanging out and being a server before that, while being a musician, all this kind of stuff, like hanging out with people in that, like, the service industry, going out with people, like meeting people in different groups and just going to third spaces and just being able to have conversations without having to have all this like theory talk. But if you're the person who has some of that foundational knowledge of things, I'm always surprised sometimes when you'll say something about something that's bothering you politically that you're like, oh, I got this theory, but you say it in a way that people are just like, oh, I totally agree with you, in those places where you have like a beer with somebody, watching the game, but you also have those people who I'm going to have to move 3 seats down because I don't like this person. I'm sitting next to a chud who's literally going to like it's going to take them a quarter of the game, but then they're going to be like, say something like, boy, the neighborhood's gone to shit, right? Like, meaning like, people of color moved in like to like downtown LA or something. Like you have those people that you come across. So you're just like, oh, little spidey sense is going off. I'm gonna move over here. No thanks. Or you have the people who just you're talking to them about like a basic economic issue and they agree with you. Or you might say something that surprised, they're like, oh, that's kind of crazy, man. And then you're explaining it in a very natural way and you get people agreeing with you. That happens all the time. But that also happens in a way where we've talked about this on our stream a bunch about like, touching grass isn't just going outside and putting your hand through a field of grass like Gladiator. Like, you got to engage with people in those third spaces, like, hey, thanks, James.
It's good, man. I can picture it.
I was letting you rap, bro.
That was such like a Ridley Scott kind of shot.
Yeah. Oh,
he's walking through with his hand out. Yeah, that was good, man.
But like, a lot of people just think like that's what they mean when Hassan tells me to touch grass. Okay, I went outside, I sat in a park, and I just was on my phone like watching another political streamer. Like, that doesn't count. Like, just getting some sun rays, like talking to somebody, talking to someone at the library, someone at the bar, where you're not just trying to fuck that person, like actually having conversations with people in spaces, join local community things. I'm currently meeting a lot of parents that their kids go to the same school now, and so far I haven't really met any that I'm excited about being friends with. I'm kind of just like forced to be in these places with them, and maybe they'll surprise me, but I'm like, hanging out with them in these like little spaces, and they're like, hey, maybe you should think about joining the school board. And I'm like, that's how I could get into politics, like officially, that kind of a thing. Like, but you're like meeting the person who's on the school board who's like, I like the way you think, and like just like talking to people instead of just like, I can't wait to read all this theory and unload it on the first person I see at the bar. Like that's not the way to like convince people.
So I hate being
bad propaganda.
The wordy guy here, but it's that's how I do. I'm just gonna have to accept that.
Word me.
Globus, James, Redolent, I think all three of you have seen me talk heavily about how retro games make me feel, like the theme songs, waking up in the morning, the routine. If you haven't, the reason why I point to the rest of the panel is because I think that you guys have watched me enough to know I'm very nostalgic. And I'm nostalgic for the wrong reasons. Beautiful reasons, but the wrong reasons. And I say that to say, I would love to approach more people in a sense of like at least getting their mind into politics or at least being aware of their community. But I fear that there's really no more unifying figures anymore that we can rally around. So when we say the third space, it's so strange to have the time to go to the third space that you
It's
kind
getting
of
harder and harder. Yeah.
you kind of pick a place that like is easy to access or a lot of people there. You can't go to multiple spaces. The spaces create a culture. The culture will eventually break if somebody breaks the social norms inside that culture. Um, I find it so funny that you said you were a musician, broke your hand, and then you had to be a bartender. I was thinking in my head, oh, you was tired of taking a cut from the bar. You just said, I'm just gonna take the whole bar. Like the ticket sales. I brought 30 people. I don't care. I got tipped 300. It's the controlling of those spaces. I'm bringing it back to this. The authority. A bartender has authority. That's what I mean when I say I think that we need to take more positions of authority. Now, this is very money dependent. Like you could open up your own after school center, you open up your own club or whatever for this, that, or the other, and it'll create its culture and it'll do the thing. But if we could have a wider grasp of authority, like not to be funny, but there are people on Twitch who are literally documentarians of cultures and civilizations that might die soon, that might be lost to time, war, and famine. I think that's a little more important. That should be elevated at a certain point. That should be cataloged. That should be in the Internet Archive. There should be a body that looks at smaller people and puts a pedestal on the information that they give because they've cleared the check marks of what you, and you said. I'm so glad I was able to keep a coherent thought this time. There's got to be something that tells people that they can trust what they're hearing, and honesty, humility, the fact that we can, or not we, I'm going to say me here, can feel wrong about something. Oh, I said that wrong. Oh, I didn't, you have to fix a couple of those things. Yeah, go ahead. Because it makes me feel like they're not disagreeing with the point they think I'm trying to make. Maybe I said too many words, but they trust me enough to know I'm not asking for the repeal of all rights and for me to stand on top of a tower and say, you go there, you go there. There's already a present nuance. I feel like people like us should be in a place where that preferred nuance creates the conversation, creates the space to have that fallible attitude. And I don't think that type of thinking dominates the spaces that we're in. You're a bartender in one place. I'm a teacher in one place. James is a radio host in one place. Globus is a father in another place. We have our little sections of authority, and society at large doesn't treat those things as prominent importances that make people better. And until we get to a point where we can propagandize those things as important, those things as the core tenets of who we are as Americans, it's going to be very hard to reach those people in the middle because there's still that other voice screaming at them on the other side. You get what I mean?
I get what you mean. I'm going to push back. I think that there is there's nothing wrong necessarily with what you said. Is what I'm pushing back again. It's the
Yeah, what are you going to push back on? Because I was going to agree with most of what he just said. Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
double up
yeah,
on
yeah.
Globus, man. Let's fucking
Let's go.
It's there's a thing that leftists do, right, on this platform and online more generally, where they say we can do this, but we need to get to here before we can start. No, what I'm talking about is actually starting right now, right here, right with the tools that you have. I don't care what power you have or what authority you have. What I want to do is provide you with a toolkit, because I'm not asking you to talk to all the people in the middle, right? And I'm talking to Marquise now, like that. Who are somebody, right, who is like, for instance, a black capitalist, right? Based on the content that I know that you know somebody who's a black capitalist. That's the person I want you to talk to. I don't want you to talk to everybody. I want you to be able to talk to the people who are in front of you. The easy mode is talking to the people that you're friends with and you can move with in that regard. The slightly more difficult is random people that you meet, like at a club, at a bar, at a whatever, and you can project that same toolkit to them, again, through what Red said with casual conversation, what James said with appealing to whatever the shared interaction that you're doing at that moment in time, the sports ball, the whatever that's on TV, whatever, watching your kids, play hockey together or whatever it is that you're doing. That's where I want you to be able to use these tools. And I want them to be like so easy to use that they come naturally, right? Where you can engage in that just through normal interactions and normal conversation, and just begin just that little bit of where they start questioning the values that they have, and you can provide them with just that little bit of direction. And then the next time you see them, little bit more, that kind of thing. Does that all that make sense?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Red alert? You said
Well, I was going to say on the because I missed the sports ball talk, I guess. I've talked about this as well with the sports ball. I'm like, the left has given up sports completely. Like we meme against sports, and those of us who do like sports, I like sports. James likes sports. Paradigm likes sports. Do you like sports, Clovis?
Yeah.
Okay, we like sports. All right, we are 4 lefty streamers that all like sports. This is the unicorn stream right now, because anytime anyone goes sports, they go fucking sports ball. Chat goes like fucking stupid sports and blah blah blah. We're giving up a huge part of American culture. Like, sports is everywhere. It's on the TVs. It's out in those third spaces on those TVs. People talk about it. The water cooler, like at your work, people start with sports. Like, how's the weather going? Hey, did you see that game last night? And if you're like, I fucking hate sports, they're like, okay, all right, Jeff over there is someone I'm not going to talk to as much as I thought I was going to. Like, we give up those spaces, and people are like, I just don't like them. I'm like, there's nerdy shit in sports. If you are into math, oh boy, sports is your thing. That's what you do with that math. Like advanced statistics, get into it. Like, be the person who's like, like if you're into that, like, go with stats. If you're into, I don't know, if you're just like, oh, I hate people hitting each other, or it's just a bunch of dumb idiots like crashing into each other. Like, that has been the case. We're getting it better. There are more women's sports are on the rise. Like, sports are happening, and we need to be there. Like, that is a place where we need to flood the zone, to use a Stephen Miller term. We give it up so quickly, and I don't know if it's just because of somebody, I got bullied, or I was just never into sports. I don't know. I'm more into Dungeons and Dragons. Great, make a Dungeons and Dragons campaign about like a sports. I don't know. Like, we give it up too quickly, and it's such a huge component of the. You don't even have to be touching grass, but like, that is a touching grass kind of a thing. Like, at college, our floor was like we'd go around all to like all the different floors. We were the nerd floor. There were the jocks on the second floor, the all girl floor below us, and we would like go out and touch grass and be like, "Hey, we're gonna do capture the flag," or "Hey, we're gonna be like supporting these people doing this thing over here at this building. Do you want to come?" And just like that tiny little bit of like community had more people in the building, all like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? Oh, hey, what's up?" And like you'd say hi to people that you normally don't say hi to, that kind of a thing. Like just getting out there and like organizing something any way you can. And sports is a huge part of that, and it doesn't have to be football. Like you can, you know, like I said, capture the flag with like, you know, the kids in the dorm, like that kind of shit. Like I don't know, I just feel like it's such a huge part that we just give up. And I feel like we revel in how easily we give it up. People love telling you how much they hate sports ball. The same way that people love telling you, if someone mentions Taylor Swift, you see chat just be like, "Fuck Taylor Swift, her fucking shitty pop music." And I'm like, cool. I agree, but you don't need to shout it out loud for everyone to go, "Oh, that person's really aggressive with that." And some leftists will say things like, "I hate that bitch's music." And I'm like, okay, all right. Are you a leftist? Real quick with the B word there. Like we are so quick to just be like, "Fuck that thing."
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
So I think that this comes from a very interesting view, because I see it kind of differently, actually. But I would like to
Exactly
preface
fair.
that. I would like to preface that with, again, I don't truly have the time to hang out with as many people as I used to. So this is going to come from my wilder days.
Wait, how old are you? How old are you?
I'm
Ish?
32.
You're a child. Wait till you hit 40. It gets
I would
10,000
prefer
times
not to.
worse.
I don't want to actually see what Earth is going to be like in the next. You know, tomorrow's a day.
32. How adorable. You still have new car smell. 32. You
See
still
what's
got
happening.
tread left. You still got tread
Yeah,
left
see
on
what's
the
happening,
tire.
right? Yeah, see what's happening, right?
He
I
still
get one
uses
bald hit.
friends, plural.
Yo, shut up! They're doing it again. No,
Friends.
friends must be nice. um, I just I see it differently. I see a want for more spaces, but culture based. Like accepted rules beforehand. Obviously, we're okay with anybody expressing their gender identity however they wish. That's not a problem because it's just normal. Then the activity comes. So there's this place that I like to go to. It's called OS NYC. It's a gaming bar club thing. In order to be a part of wanting to go outside and play games with other people in person, and especially like 2-player games, you kind of got to be a certain type of person first. The leftists I see cut that circle off. Like at this point, we would never invite somebody who's really good at the thing but has really sucky opinions. And that radicalizes them even further because now there's online communities that can accept them for who they are without challenging that. And matter of fact, they'll just reinforce it because they themselves don't care. They have the authority in that realm. And the creative third space realm, that after school program where you used to have like 7 different options. You could go to the cooking class, tech class, there's a dance class. All of that is completely consumed by capitalism. You got to pay for a Zumba class now. There's no dance studios that do, well, there are, but you know, that's not a popular thing to just, hey, we rent out a space every week and we invite people for dance. No, you got to find somebody who's interested. And then, do you know 3 friends? And then we can split the cost. And then one person doesn't have the money. And, well, you're kind of poor. And it's like, why would you say something like that? Oh my God, we are in our 40s. Why would you? It's a struggle out here. That's where I see leftists fail, is that they'll take these spaces and kind of just cut off any explorative gatherings. You have to be a certain way before we even look at you. And now this obviously goes without saying that in a normal world, we wouldn't have these strong prejudices and there wouldn't be such strong attacks against other people. So to say, like, I don't want you to invite a Nazi into your space, I think that's pretty clear.
Mhm.
But like, you can approach someone and tell them, you got a little odor problem. You might need to, check in on that. You could do that in a way that makes them feel all right. Or you could go to Yu-Gi-Oh route and say, if we smell you, like if people can smell you and they complain, you're banned from the tournament and you're banned from competing in events. Leftists do the banning thing. They don't make they do it. They just do it. They just pick a thing and that's not allowed. Pick a thing and that's not allowed. And it creates these very vulnerable, small spaces where everybody wants to be open and honest and loving and also caring about the thing that they're doing without ever being challenged on anything. I'm right. We all know we're good here. We're only here to discuss the thing. You don't want to explore nothing else. That's what I feel leftists do. They don't explore nothing else. They take the circle, they take the activity, and then they just cut everyone else out of it who doesn't fit that mold, who doesn't
They become
fit
your parents' bands that they like. I don't like anything new. I like
I-
that 60s and
Ooh.
70s shit.
Oh my God, Ringo Starr probably sounded like a metal drummer to these parents.
You know who the best drummer is? That Ringo Starr, all right? And you're like, oh, okay, sure, yeah,
Sure, right. What was the guy's name? Who? Mike Johnson. Oh, I think Lee Greenwald should play the Super Bowl. What the fuck are you talking about?
Lee Greenwood and Laura Trump.
Yeah.
Yo, Globus, cue it up.
No.
No way.
Yo, you have not lived until you've heard Laura Trump cover Tom Petty.
That's true, and afterwards you won't want to live anymore.
Fair.
Wait, what? Uh-oh. This does not exist. Oh,
What?
God. Please tell me this
Hey,
doesn't
kids.
exist.
Oh, it
kids,
does. It does.
While Paradigm starts Googling this, I want to remind you about the thing I said earlier. When you present somebody with a 1 and a 1A, and then you make them think that it was their fucking choice.
Suck my dick! No way!
Questions, anybody? Questions?
Closing this fucking window. Oh, I've been got. Yeah, that's a clip. That's a clip. I got. That's
Didn't say
you
for
know
how
what?
long.
You know what? I applaud you. It takes a lot to get me. It takes a lot to wrap something around me and catch me, Respect. That's you get the battle rap thumbs up. You got me.
Some of the, we're not watching Laura Trump, right?
No.
No, I cut off the window. No.
All right. No. I was like, are we waiting for this video to pop up?
No, of course we're not. God.
Okay, just checking. Because in my stream, I would put it. I would absolutely pop up Laura Trump.
You'd have it on a 15-minute loop. Yeah, it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Know your audience.
But what Paradigm's getting to is a lot of fixing foundational problems in this country and the rest of the world. Like the reason why, we talk about this all the time too. The reason why fascism didn't work in France in the 30s as they were rising up, late 20s, 30s, is because it was mostly agricultural, and the government backed the farmers there because they were globally known as the best dairy, the best cheeses and things. So when the fascists came in the late 20s and 30s, they were no, you can fuck off. We're good, because the government supported them. The reason why we might have a Nazi trying to show up at our event IRL is because we live in a country that was, based on slavery, continued. We didn't fix Reconstruction. Thanks, Andrew Johnson. Go fuck yourself. We had, Jim Crow, redlining. We have sundown towns. We have all these things, and a lot of people are byproducts of just their spawn point. Their spawn parents. You spawn with some nice parents who love you and blah blah blah. Doesn't always work. You might have that person might get radicalized somewhere else, or they just might hate somebody because they got their hair pulled when they were 2. I have no idea. But you have less of those chances of somebody turning into a Nazi if society isn't actually founded by racism. You have people just think of particles in a stream, and we're all these little particles in a stream, and some of those things are going to get pulled off to the Nazi bank over here. Some of them are going to go get plunged down in the bottom. They're kind of we're trying to move in a direction, and some are going to go off in different areas. And if if society is making a lot more people go off to Nazi bank, and just crashing there. Like, what are we doing? How are we fixing that? We're not going to fix it in a week. We're not going to fix it in a day. We're not going to fix it in 10 years, probably. But like, if we have history books in the 25th century and they're looking back at this time, are we going to see like, oh, the rise of authoritarianism in like early 20th century, which lasted until the 23rd century? Are we in the throes of something like that right now? And how do we fix that? And if we don't fix it at a societal level by giving everybody like universal policies that help everybody out to a certain degree, we've talked about this on the stream all the time, like utilities, like rent, like housing, all these things, like we want to eventually get like, yeah, you don't have to worry about that stuff. You shouldn't have to worry about these things. These other things that like you can go to a concert for, hey, you should be able to go to a concert. You should be able to see art. We shouldn't have to worry about these kinds of things. Norway does that a little bit. Norway produces some of the best musicians in the world with only 5 million people or 5.5 or whatever it is right now. And it's because their society, yes, through, they have oil and all that good stuff that they're kind of sitting on. And they're using that in a way with a mix of like capitalism with socialism and some other little sprinkles of other things. But they're like, hey, do you want to be a musician? Do you want to be an artist? Hey, guess what? You don't have to like go to school to try to just get like a normie job. Like we support you. And that's why you're like, wow, like how many amazing musicians are coming from Norway? How many amazing, like pick a field. Like they have people like scientists in Norway because they just go, I'm super into science. And they were like, great, we're going to flood you with everything you need to be the best scientist you want to be. And like the people, because of those foundations, their society trusts those institutions. Most of Norway is not like that. Science is bullshit. That our scientist is saying they're agreeing because of these institutions that are nurtured and allowed to just continue without too much outside influence. And that's what we're combating right now with the use of, I saw someone in chat earlier say like maybe we don't even have to learn how to read eventually. Maybe that's a capitalistic bully something. I can't remember exactly how it was phrased. And it's like, okay, maybe in the future we can learn by videos. Maybe that's a better thing to do eventually. But the way that we were seeing like the beginnings of AI, probably not. Probably can't trust it yet until we find a way to know what we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a little bit of a weird tangent because I'm trying to catch up because I have like 50 things that I'm trying to respond to, and I'm doing a bad job. That was a comment earlier, leftist, like an hour ago. We reading, like 13th 14th century, we hold reading away from the populace. We don't want them reading. We don't want them getting too smart. And then right now we live in a time where you absolutely need to be to fucking read. We absolutely have to have like literacy in certain fields to just like participate in that meat grinder I was talking about earlier, to get the jobs, to go out and just socialize with people. If you're like, oh, I've never been able to read a lick, then okay, you've only been watching TV and movies. You don't have any like reading foundational skills that you might have picked up your whole life. Audiobooks count. It's just there's so many things when we're talking about one thing, we should know that this one thing that we're talking about has like 10,000 other like currents that are like pushing it, that one thing in different directions. Mm-hmm. And we always like when we talk about these things, too many people just simplify it grossly. Sometimes they will turn it. We accuse the chuds of ones and zeros, and we will do it ourselves too. We jump right to the Highlander shit. Like, oh, nope. No, they can't do that when we're like trying to like, okay, we're talking about having like this level of support for everybody. And then there's some other things as well on top. Like those kinds of ways of looking at things.
I actually have a solution, but I don't know if I'm bugging here. I think you kind of got
for when you're 35. You're too young for president, but I'll vote for you.
Okay, so you say that, and then I'm going to use now this example instead of the example I was going to use. I had a conversation with a guy named Nathaniel. He was my Uber driver on the way to a wedding, and we ended up on the subject of politics. And he said, if you wanted to ever run for president, I'd campaign for you. Not that I'd vote for you, but I'd campaign from you. And I was like, we obviously had the platitudes and everything. And I thought about that for a very long time, that I could just meet somebody randomly and they were like, we need a person like you to lead the country. I don't know if America is ready to think for itself. This is
Okay,
you brought up Norway.
Stop.
What happened?
I'm slamming on the brakes because you were headed in the right direction, and then you did the thing where you said, "I can't." Right? Like, I don't think America's ready for this, or before we can do this, we got to do that.
All
And
right,
that's
okay. Let me
exactly
rephrase.
No, you don't have to rephrase. You did exactly the thing that I'm talking about, right? You had a random encounter with a random person, and you gave them ideas in a way that they could incorporate, and that's it. That's literally what I'm talking about when it comes to these kind of things. And to speak with Red said, you've got this one thing that we're doing, and it's got all these other things pushing on it. If you get, like, as an example, there's currently, according to this number, which may or may not be factual, 113 people viewing my stream right now, right? If 113 people all went out and had a good conversation with one other person and moved their needle just a bit, right? Then that's 226 people who might then go on to have a conversation with another person. There's a platitude about, like, kindness, steamrolls, and all that. You know
that's
what I'm talking about?
No, I get you. Okay, that's what I mean, though. How do I make the authority thing?
Fuck authority. You did
no,
it.
I was gonna make not the word, the feeling, the trust.
Right.
Like
trust.
I don't know how to get people to trust at this stage. Those people close those. Yeah, but we in a different world now. Hello, that was like when the iPhone 6 was out. I missed the home button. Jesse Waters hasn't been able to rap since then. I want him to rap. How do I get people to rap? How do I get that conversation to resonate with someone and then have them take that exact same parable and bring it to the next person? How do I make sure that they pass that along? How do I make sure it changes them?
You can't focus on making sure.
Put cameras in their toilets.
Yeah, I mean,
what I'm saying, like, yeah, that's what I need.
But
give me cameras in the toilets. Got it.
You had a interaction, right? So at least half of the people who were involved in that interaction then took that interaction and used it to communicate with other people, right? So, like, maybe it was you and you talked to him and he never thought about you again and never thought about those ideas again. Maybe. I doubt it, though, right? Like, but on your end, you took that. Now you're communicating to other people, and people identify with that story, and then they take that story and they're going to talk about it with other people, right? You know, like when you're describing the thing that you're doing, you've used that particular story at least 3 times that I'm aware of over the course of knowing you over this period of time.
Get new fucking stories, Paradigm.
Shut the fuck up, Red. Daddy's talking.
Nah, he's on it, right? He's on something.
But like,
let him go.
I didn't say he was wrong.
That's an example of you doing the thing, and that should be the goal, right? Like, yeah, there are many high ideals that we all have, that people in chat have, and all that other stuff. And I am distraught. I'm using the word distraught. I am distraught by how people of a caring, empathetic nature will put roadblocks in front of themselves and not even take that littlest step. And that's all I want, is for how do we give people the confidence and the tools to take that little step. Fuck the big ideas for now, because we first need to start taking these little steps, because success breeds confidence. You know what I mean?
No, that was fine. I get that. No notes. No notes.
I was gonna make a joke earlier because you kind of started with like people don't want to think it for themselves. We got into that 40% of this country throughout the past like 20, 30 years wants authoritarianism. That's what they want. It's a byproduct again of the system, blah, blah, blah. And then when you said that part that Glows pumped the brakes on, I was like, oh, I see. Oh, this whole stream, by the end, I want Paradigm to be like, and that's why I'm running for dictator of America. It's gonna be like the paradigm shift is a great name for a dictator already. I'm in it.
You feel me? I'm
yeah.
no.
Can I be your Stephen Miller?
Oh, dog. You already fit the part.
I want to be your Stephen Miller.
Oh shit, that's fucked up, man.
Shadow dictator.
Play with the ball that you've been given. No, I get you, Globus.
Damn.
I literally have. I think that's the perfect rebuttal to that. I can see that a lot of us, me included, will literally have the moment and then just not be okay with having more moments. Like, I think we do that. It's got to lead to something. You know me, especially. I'm a big on storytelling. It's got to lead to something. Maybe that's my biggest issue. Maybe that's why I disconnect. Maybe a shut boy. He said 3 times in 5 years. Hey, like 8. I got 1,100. Boy,
You've known each other. It could be like 2 weeks. I don't know.
Okay, this is what we doing. Cool.
This is my job application for that job role.
I will propagandize for you. You good? You can turn on the light. Hey, welcome back. How was it? You guys can talk. I'm sorry.
Just going to interject. Yeah, something that some people in chat were talking about to what Paradigm was saying was having to build trust. It's not going to happen in one conversation. Guess what? It might not happen in our lifetimes. It might not happen. Like we are pushing that boulder up that fucking hill right now because the right, who is better at doing propaganda, is destroying trust on different levels. They're destroying trust in the school systems from elementary all the way up through college. Trust is being destroyed. They are destroying it in your day-to-day third spaces with conspiracy theories, which is the point of conspiracy theories, is to eliminate common sense. When people just go, oh, we have common sense. The right uses that, by the way. I don't know if you all hear that, but when you hear Donald Trump say, well, we have common sense, and then you hear like JD Vance for the week goes, well, it's all about common sense. It's all about common sense. That's undermining propaganda because they are destroying common sense by all of the policies that they're doing right now, flooding the zone. If we're going to, like, just all the things they're doing are dissolving common sense. Having the National Guard go into cities for protection of the Fed officers who are supposed to be protecting buildings is not that's not common sense. That is completely unconstitutional, et cetera, et cetera. So like being able to have a conversation with somebody who still thinks like whether it's Jewish space lasers. I heard she had a wonderful thing today that everyone was glowing about. But that's another thing. You have someone dissolving common sense and then they actually say a few normal sentences and we're all like, what the fuck? Like that's like she knew that. And she's like, now's the time to strike with actual common sense type things. And everyone's like, oh my God, can she be president one day? Because we're that fucking stupid.
I'm not even trying to be funny with you. I don't know what it is. I was trying to avoid saying this, but the VOD's going to show it. You have absolutely hit the points that we hit every time you left. Like, you've naturally gotten to the sentences and points that we made every time you left. We spoke about that for the hour that you had technical difficulty issues. Okay. Oh, you! Right. I don't got no. I can't do no animations today. Damn, I got a library full of them. The green screen would have went crazy on this.
Oh, you got a library of them, do you? Okay, all right. Fellow Chucker, eh?
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Somebody's shooting me in my chat. I don't have my chat up, so I don't know who's firing at me. But.
No,
the conversations, building trust. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take like so many more people than just like 0.5% of the population in every town trying to build up a little bit more trust. There actually has to be an underlying foundation of supporting propaganda that the left has to do. And when our only answer is build communities. Right. Do community things. Okay, what does that mean? Because they need to be told what to do sometimes. You need to, like, here's the community, and this is what we've set up, and here's the awesome thing that you can do. And we have these after school programs, we have these after work programs, we have, we're renting a community space, from for the late night workers who like miss out on daytime shit. Like, nurses, my wife's a nurse. She does night shift stuff. She wakes up at 3 or 4 p.m. West Coast time. So news has happened and she wakes up and watches the news for a little bit. But if you're like, oh, like we have nighttime stuff for nighttime people who who are like our society shuts down in most places except for a few cities after 9 p.m. How do we extend that to allow more people who do those jobs at night to have more say, to learn more things, to touch grass with people in those third and fourth spaces?
Not gonna lie, but if we were to like actually apply a thing to that, like a practical thing, I would just simply stop making requirements for these spaces. So a big thing about after school spaces, especially James knows this. I'm not sure how well it works upstate New York, so I'm not gonna speak on Globus. But in New York City, we have like requirements for how many children need to be in an after school program to receive funding. And like if we
Sure,
get less
yeah.
kids on an average in any given month, they'll send us less food. So we can't feed as many kids. So because of that, it puts us in a very tight bind where we end up having to inflate our numbers, like maybe with an elementary school program, we market it as daycare. It's that. I think that one of the core tenets of what we'd have to change is in these conversations, we have to make people see that things that they want to do, they don't have the opportunity to. I think that would be a nice first step because a lot
Yeah.
of what we end up failing on with these community centers and these places that open is that they require a little bit too much out of the community and participation wise for it to be, oh, don't do that. Now I'm going.
I can't stop. I can't stop her. She wants to type. They can hear you. Don't use all the curse words that I taught you. I was just about to say, and then she just came in the door, and I'm about to kick you right out. Oh, a nurse is what you wanted to type? All right, get out of here. Bye. Bye.
That was good.
Like hers. I was about to say, I had to leave to go pick her up at her after school thing, and ours is decently funded, which is why we moved to where we moved to. But like they still have parameters too. Like if we don't have this many kids, we're going to cut the funding. Same exact thing. But a lot of these places are like, we're going to end that program. If you don't get enough people, we're going to end that program. And it's harder to build something than to just take it away, right? So a lot of people who want to like, end these programs so they can save a little money to give bigger tax breaks to themselves and their class, their cliques. Like we need to. Oh my God. Go ahead. Someone else talk. I'm going to mute this.
I was gonna say, you should get an interruption counter like I have. When my dad was around, when I was at my dad's house, we'd have a counter for every time he'd interrupt me. And what is it at like 98 now? And it's just fun to keep track of. I got you. Yeah, I would lessen the requirements. I think that's where Twitch and all these other places excel, and that's why I kind of want people who stream on this platform to take themselves a little bit more serious with what they like and what they love, because it's clear and obvious that like people come to watch us because they trust us. They find some form of entertainment in us. We cover things that are not generally covered by the larger streamers. We do things, we express things, we feel things that can connect with people on a more personal basis. And while we can go into the idea of parasociability and whatever, at the end of the day, if this is where people come to get when people come to get their for lack of a better term fix, it's something that improves their well-being, or it's something that makes them feel something that they didn't think of. Maybe the small step is what you had said earlier, understanding that that one person is enough. And sometimes we got to be okay with being the one person for the one person. We may not live to see something sprout from that, but if you really got the good intention and you know what you're talking about, it'll do what it needs to do. And I think we got to be more confident in knowing that we can do that we do that.
100%. I heard the last 2/3 of that because I was worried about whatever she was going to type. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you'd be in the same similar car you would get in. I don't know what that means. No idea. She's moved on past banana and ooh. The other thing that I wanted to talk about with what you were saying with the funding for the programs, that is just another layer on top of the foundational, like built racist foundation that we have with schools being funded by property values, right? So like we have to deal with this kind of a thing where we have to put out some like propaganda from the left to let everybody know like this is a thing that happens. So like Beverly Hills kids get 32,000 a year spent on them by the Fed and the state per year, like a college. Or I don't know what colleges are. Are they still in the 30,000s, or are we going higher anymore? I went to college 20 years ago. God, 25 years ago. Fuck. Yeah, not a good college. Like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Detroit is the has the lowest funding. They are right around like 9,000. I think it's like 8,800, and our school has barely more than that, but it's considered a good school program because they keep asking the parents to fund everything. Every other day, you get like, please give us money, please give us money, and I guess the parents are. I don't. I'm broke, but like the parents do apparently because we have like good schools. We're highly rated school systems, but we still have the chuds chipping away. Like, why are we paying for this? What are we doing for this? And they are starting to do the chipping away. They are very good at doing propaganda. So you have chud parents already fighting to destroy the school systems here, which they should they should be proud of their school system. They should be like, hey, this is awesome, but they don't want to because they get their talking points from up high, and then they hear like, yeah, schools are just how are we getting? How do we trick people into hating school systems by saying that there's a lot of black and brown people who are moving into town now, and we need to think about maybe schools for our own children, like that kind of shit is coming back. That's a fun yep. With school choice and all these charter schools is just a new version of like pre-Brown v. Board and like what the southern states did after Brown v. Board to bypass that shit, where they would say, oh, you know what, we're just going to let all the white kids go to the private schools for free. There you go. We solved it. Now we don't have to integrate. And then up to 12 years this was happening. We're getting that exact same thing right now with different ingredients because they're very good at just saying that part mixed with now they've added on like the trans agenda. That's what's being taught in schools. Now, just fantasy land. Your kid could go to school Jeff and come back Jennifer. And then you hear Chud say that same fucking line because they heard it one or two times and they're like, oh, that's catchy. That's an alliteration of names. Great. Okay. And then you hear fucking people in real life say this once in a while and you're like, wow, you really think that? Like, this is how like the propaganda trickles down, and it's just like an emotional hate, like, oh, I don't understand trans people, so when I hear that I go, what are they doing? What are they doing? My pure white children. Oh, God, this is gonna be clipped so bad. Sorry, I was reading something in chat. But yeah, like all of these things are just one tiny piece, and each one has like layers and layers that we have to push back against with creating culture, creating our own propaganda. And it sounds exhausting, and it's going to be exhausting, and I don't know if we are organized well enough to start getting it done. Like we couldn't today just like, okay, let's flood the zone with like leftist propaganda in good ways,
right?
Without like
which is
like,
again leads back to my point of like because you touched on it earlier, is the idea of build community, right? Like the number of times I've heard a streamer say, oh, we got to build community and we got to organize, and literally no direction, no, like no pamphlet, no nothing on how to get from where I am sitting and looking at my phone to actually organizing. And shout out Levelhead, because Levelhead was one of the people who was actually doing the thing. And it just get like, get one of your friends or a couple of your friends and go to like your local town board meeting and just sit in there, right? And like, it may it just be there first off. And then when you hear an idea coming from a particular person, then you know that that's the person that you want to talk to. When you talk to them and then you can identify with that they are the person that you want to support, and then when they see you in the crowd, they understand that they have support. Yeah, they got a chud to the left and a chud to the right and like 60 people there, but they know your little group of 2 or 3 is there to support them, and it gives them the ability to do their job a little harder, to push through that exhaustion and things like that. and just building up, like, before you doing a contracting metaphor here, before you can put in a sidewalk, you got to dig that down and you got to flatten it out and you got to lay like sand or gravel before you pour the concrete. I'm talking about, where are we with digging down and grading that? Like, what, let day one, what's a thing that you can do to actually give people something that they can act upon, and will start moving the dial in the right direction, as opposed to, yeah, no, like, this country sucks, and AI is going to do all the thing, and we shouldn't be doing AI until we overthrow capitalism. Okay, great. When is that going to fucking happen, right? Like, because I've been waiting for the downfall of capitalism for the past 2 decades, and it's still, like, people talk about late stage capitalism. That shit could go
October
on for
17th.
1,000 years. October 17th.
Oh no, I was thinking TwitchCon. No, that's TwitchCon. Never mind. I got them confused. Sorry.
Like, the fall of Rome took 1,000 years. You know what I mean? Like, late stage capitalism could fuck around for 500 years. And like that. We need to, like, start moving in a direction, as opposed to laying out these. Here's the thing that'll probably never happen in my lifetime, and until that happens, we can't actually do any of the stuff we want to do. Fuck that. Let's start now. Let's do the little thing. Let's go back in time and step on the fucking butterfly, but the time we're going back to is today, and the butterfly we're stepping on is talking to, another human being about this idea. James, you got anything? You've been playing Surrounded and then kind of hanging back. Did you want to step in and make fun of Red's mom or something real quick?
No. I already get to make fun of Red's rudimentary grasp on technology. Why would I go 2 for 2? So I guess I got a few different ideas on this. So regarding all the hog stuff, going back to, I think, what Red was saying about, the hogs have this and they have this and they have this, and because they're better at marketing. And I hear this a lot from people, where people go, "Oh, they're better at marketing." But the same people who say that the right is terrible at marketing also say that the right are horrible at writing, they're horrible at humor, they're horrible at music, they're horrible at art, they're horrible at fucking communicating emotions.
I'll get some Laura Trump on.
Like, I'm just saying, it seems really weird to me that the enemy is both weak yet strong simultaneously. Where have I heard that again before?
Fascists, they're just like us.
I mean, I don't like the left narrative that the right is so far ahead. It's not that the right is so far ahead. It's that the right has buy-in from their people. They're not ahead on marketing. They're ahead on internal organizing. They're ahead on bringing people around to the megaphone. Like their marketing isn't any better. Like saying, like, the right is, they're just really, they're much better at marketing. No, actually, they're very simple at marketing. They do very rudimentary shit. It's just that they happen to stumble upon the fact that the people that they're marketing to are very rudimentary people who only want to hear rudimentary ideas. And the people on the left see that and go, "Oh, well, we're so much better than that. I can come up with a 38-point plan to describe our marketing." And while the left is creating their 38-point plan to explain all the reasons why they're so much better than the right, who are just a bunch of brutish orangutans. The brutish orangutans are kicking the Democratic Party's ass from pillar to post. Because fucking, partially to Globus's point of maybe just shit or get off the pot, rather than having a fucking philosophical conversation with yourself about the quality of your turds. Maybe like just do the thing today. And it kills me that part of this is the intimidation that that the right is simultaneously so much better at marketing that they're shitty at every last aspect of anything that feeds into what creates marketing. They're literally like all the same people who say the right are fucking so awesome at propaganda and marketing are the same people who say the right is horrible at music, art, talking, fucking expressing themselves. Like it boggles my fucking mind.
If we're really doing that, can I maybe answer why that happens? I'm not sure, but this is I'm now we're going into a little. It feels like what you're describing is.
Thank you, Leftist Corporation. By the way, yeah, go ahead.
It feels like what you're describing is like. It's the difference between putting a win button in a fighting game and getting your ass beat multiple, like hundreds of times to learn something. I think that when you finally get the payoff, the right's payoff is right there. The right's payoff is, look, we won. Suck it, losers. The left's payoff was we got Joe Biden. Where's the healthcare? Where's the promises you ran on? Where's this?
Wait. I'm the left. How is that?
I voted for Joe Biden. Did your life get better? I thought didn't he like aid and facilitate and like the setting the stage for the Trump presidency? Is this not a thing that we is this not a thing that we know? Is it like Biden not great at job? Biden not great at job.
To speak to that, right? And to speak what's going on in chat, like the idea, like, let's go Brandon, right? Like, I understand that let's go Brandon was dumb, but it was really easy to internalize. And what's funny is to bring it back around to the whole sports ball thing is the tempo of that. Like, I live in Buffalo. You go to a Sabres game, which is the hockey team. It's let's go Sabres, right? Like, it's that same kind of really easy to internalize thing as opposed to let's go have a nuanced conversation about the benefits of a multivariate analysis of the housing situation and it doesn't flow.
How many years have you heard me talk about Trump and the three syllable chant?
100%, right? Like, that's what I'm talking about, which is why Taco hits, which is why calling them weird hit, right? Like, that's the kind of messaging I'm talking about. Like, how do we take these ideas that we know are good and lead to good results for these people and package them in a way that's very easy for them to internalize and then repeat? You know what I mean? Right, CRT and DEI. They don't even mean what they think they mean. They just know when they say CRT, it equals bad. So how do we give them something? Give common folk, give morons.
Right.
If you understood that reference, I love you. Give people, regular folk, something that they can easily internalize and go like the let's go Trumpy or that kind of shit.
Can I make a quick counterpoint here to drive this home?
Absolutely.
Oh God, James. God, you've been talking nonstop.
No, yeah, I know. I've been blathering for hours over here. Okay, no cheating. Just blur it out. 2020. What was the Kamala Harris campaign slogan?
No idea.
Hey, hang on.
There was a slogan?
That's what I thought. 2020.
What?
2020. What was the Biden campaign slogan?
Just vote for Joe.
2016. 2016. What was the Hillary Rodham campaign logo?
I'm with her.
Yeah.
Mommy, thank you. Kiss her on the face for me.
I'm with her.
I'm with her. Stop the steal. Lock her up.
Dog, WWE has this so perfectly down. John Cena, everybody gets renamed to a 3 cut. Like, yo, we need the machine, dog.
Right. So here is the point. Okay. So legitimately speaking of HRC, if Hillary Rodham Clinton wasn't such a contemptible piece of shit, and she remembered that Wisconsin was a whole last state that she could actually travel to, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. But literally what the Hogs did was they figured it out, because Barack Obama literally came up with, it was just hope. And then the second time he went with hope and change. And then Hillary Clinton went, like, that was it. The Republicans finally saw that the Democrats were like, hold on, if they make it simple, people vote for them. And then they got Donald Trump, the guy who was the brain of a goldfish who could only remember 3 syllables at a time. And they were like, let's just dumb that shit down even further. Like, if you come up with something that is without contention, devoid of thought, all analysis of it is unnecessary. This is the easy standpoint, because then it becomes what anybody wants it to mean, like CRT, even though people don't know what the fuck it means. Like, when Kamala Harris is standing up, giving you the 9-point explanation about how she's going to get more Americans into homes by means testing the overall income of the last 5 years of all the people in the household, sans the money they get from public orders, not including their tax returns, except for every third overtime shift that people work on a Thursday. When you apply on the week that there's a full moon, then you can totally see how they're going to get more people into houses. You see the problem, right?
Yes.
Damn, I just thought about the fact that The Simpsons, Family Guy, like 3 letters, 3 syllables. Like, it really is a 3-syllable world.
Yes.
And, I think that might just hit the core, like, issue with all of it. How do you truncate what we know into 3 syllables? Devil May Cry? Like, it's
See what
tricky.
Johnny Prophet just wrote in chat? How many syllables is it?
Big dick vibes.
9?
11.
So what you guys are talking about is like, this is part of what they were like writing about in the 40s and 50s, like Robert J. Lifton, fucking Orwell. They knew all these things. They wrote about this stuff because they were like Orwell was like studying the stuff that Robert J. Lifton was putting out there about like propaganda, about brainwashing techniques. So I just pulled up number 6. We were talking about number 6, Robert J. Lifton's 8 totalist themes. Number 6, loading the language, compressing complex ideas into brief, definitive sounding phrases, thought terminating cliches. That's the quickest, like there's a whole chapter explaining this, but that's the quickest part of it. So it does multiple things though. This isn't like an end all be all. That is a tactic. That is a technique. And they can use that for fascist ideas. So like when they just say the word woke, they are both attacking and simplifying their opponents, and also using us language, because when I hear someone say woke as a pejorative, and you're with me, they're like, oh, I know I'm with my people. Like, so when someone says woke, they're doing multiple things, and we're just like, oh, they just say woke is everything, but they're communicating to each other in more complex ideas. Saying woke is, again, I'll just repeat it because I think I said it pretty well, but just in case I didn't, I am attacking my opponents, my thought opponents, my policy opponents. I'm simplifying everything as just woke bullshit, but I'm also letting the person who hears that and goes, fuck yeah, they're in on board. They hear me go like, oh, with this woke garbage, and they're like, yep, nope, I know where to go now. I know those guys are speaking the same language as me, and they are on a different, like, that's why the far right, the chuds, are on like a faster moving stream, because they become like, they don't become one issue voters. They become part of that flow, that stream, because of one issue. And then the current is so fast, you have to go along with it. Because if I can get you in on the 2A, then I can get you in on hating trans people pretty quick with different, like in some chat. I don't need to hear like, I love guns and I am trans. Like I'm just talking in general. Like, you get people to do that because they're going to be in similar circles using those shortened phrases, those 3-syllable catchphrases, then they're going to hear that, and that reduces critical thinking for people. That gets them to agree with that group much faster. Because I don't have to learn all this shit. I don't have to read 20 books to have a conversation with you. I know that that's woke garbage. I know that we have to be terrified of trans people. And now I'm going on along with like military, like the National Guard is like going into cities, and I'm like, yeah, that's my side, and they're for it. So I'm absolutely for it. And we're like, no, it's not constitutional. And like, we're talking about Constitution and just bringing up like, see, it's in the Constitution. We're not just dealing with their understanding of the Constitution. We're dealing with their side not giving a shit about the Constitution, because the people doing it also agree with them now on the things they didn't even know they agreed with, like the hating trans people, so on and so forth.
I was gonna say,
James, we had a famous
I know we don't
Constitution
have that, Danny.
enjoyer. we had
I know
we had
don't
a
have that.
famous Constitution enjoyer in our chat today, who literally brought up, can't we all agree that it's un-American to not follow the Constitution? And to which everybody blew right by, and I'm like, wait a minute, who gets to determine who's American in the first place? Oh, so if you just lay claim to an idea and then you talk fast enough, that idea is yours. That's amazing. That's some quality shit. Hey, you know what we need? We need some left people to form a committee and have a 13-day conversation about what they just said.
And this is to speak to a point I made like all the way before we even started. This is why I wanted Red in this conversation, is because Red is the theory nerd of this kind of shit and can point to that kind of stuff. But it's absolutely 100% correct. We don't have something, and when we do, it works, right? To James' point earlier. And like the weird thing was working for Harris, and then they backed away from it because some fucking pollster told them it didn't sound nice or whatever. And like, we need that kind of stuff because, again, it's very easy to internalize what Red said and know that you're among your people. When I'm at a Sabres game, which I never go to because fuck all that noise, because people. But like, if I am at a Sabres game and then we go, let's go Sabres, and the guy goes, dun, 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 let's go Sabres. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't know, the quality of the team I'm watching. I'm just participating in the shared event. And that's what we need to be able to get in touch with, some base level of the American population that wants to hear the 3-syllable chant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I spoke this that I was saying I find it very funny that
you're breaking up.
We're doing this because
Paradigm.
Hold on.
It's not you. It's literally just the share stream thing.
I think you're good.
Oh, like you can still hear me?
Yeah.
No, that was crapping out too.
Yeah.
Can you?
Now you're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
Okay, the internet's going out.
Yeah.
You can hear me? Okay, we good?
Yeah.
No? Yes? No?
Yes. Pop off.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
You making fun of me? I can
No.
see you.
Yes, speak.
Okay, good. I can see you, Redolent. Don't make fun of me. I think about Free Gaza and how Eyes on Rafa. I wonder if no, because we answered that question already. I don't even have to repeat that. No,
But I think that's actually a good
beyond.
example, because you see how hard they came down on that kind of messaging, right?
Yes.
And that, I think, is indicative of how easy it was for them for it to be internalized by other people, right? Like, it made sense to them because it was, it was a very simple set of words, right? And they could get free. People should be free. Everyone should be free. And Gaza must not be free if they're saying free Gaza. So boom, like it's super easy to internalize that. So build on that kind of thing. And if they're coming at you that hard, it's because we're not like there's a thing, not that anyone should ever do anything, but like there's a thing that certain countries have used in their protests, that rather than forming a large mass group that engages in a confrontation with the whatever, they use a bunch of smaller groups all over the place, which stretches out the resources. That's, yes, the right is better funded, and the chuds always have more money and like that. That's not going to change, right? That's just the state of the environment and the state of play we exist in. If we want to do something, we're going to have to do it within that environment. So how do we do that? It's smaller things. It's like more direct, build on our strengths. Empathy and connection and community and all those kind of things, and being smaller, decentralized places to stretch their resources where they can't come down on hard on this one thing because it's happening all over. Does that make sense? You follow me?
Yes, and I think that's one of the biggest or main reasons why people are so protective over their spaces. I think that's what they fear, is that the co-opting of anything outside of their sphere will eventually expose them to people who don't exactly follow their train of thought all the way down. It's like, I knew you was, cool because, you gay. But like, I didn't know you was hardcore. We need to abolish capitalism and communism is great. And I love the Soviet Union. And they just start saying shit. And it's like, that's not at all what I thought. But like, I also don't agree with the current administration. So what's the move here? And it's like, I don't agree either, but can't you tell things are getting better? And we've lost immediately because we don't know how to finish that off with a, hey, this isn't a judgment of your character. I just think you're misled. We take these things as judgment of character. And that's why I think these slogans and these examples that we constantly say the right is so much better than, I just think it's just simpler. The idea is shitty, but it's presented to them simpler. It's mashed potatoes and corn on a nice paper plate. We're trying to serve them a T-bone, a porterhouse steak, fresh asparagus, your little dollop of scallop potatoes. You got all the trimmings, and it's like, this is a great meal. Why don't you want it? And it's because you're serving it to me on a garbage plate. You're serving it to me on a garbage lid. Like, the meal is enticing, yes, but why are you serving it to me on a garbage plate? And you're like, why do you care? Just
And it's
I'm gonna go the
also
other way with
food.
that, actually.
the mashed
I'm gonna go the other
potato.
way. I'm gonna say
real
you're
quick,
trying
the
to give.
mashed potatoes and corn is ready to go right now, and your T-bone steak is going to take an hour and a half in order to get to the point where we can eat it. Go ahead,
At
Red.
least,
Go ahead, Red.
I need that meat
I was
tender.
gonna say I'd go a different way with the analogy. I would say like we're trying to give people a T-bone steak with all those things, but we're doing it with like molecular gastronomy type shit. So instead of seeing that T-bone steak, we're giving it to you in like a gelatin spoon with like a socialism air on the plate with a dash of like dehydrated and crumbled, like we're like, people are like, is this fucking food? Like, what is
Right.
this? And you're like, that's
I
a
like that.
T-bone steak. That is a 16-ounce T-bone steak, and we have reduced it, and we've used some blah 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 to reduce it to a little white bubble on the fucking miso fucking soup spoon. Enjoy, and you're like, the fuck is this? I'm like, no, it's fantastic. Trust me. And you're like, how much is this going to cost us? Like, don't worry.
I give you pill. It tastes like it makes you feel full.
Yeah,
Ozempic. It's the 3-letter Tylenol. You know what? I'm done. I'm out because now it's gonna be another gun sequence for me, and I can't do it again. I can't do another. We're gonna see it everywhere now. For those of you who don't know, every story canonically needs a gun in it in order to show the ultimate. There's like the ultimate peril in every story. If there's
Do we
a
have a
gun
word
that's
for that? Do we have the word for that? Like the Bechdel test? Do we have that?
yeah,
Like,
but there's
the
something
gun.
for that. Yeah,
Okay.
you would say, I guess, gun, but I think that's for something else. I'm not sure.
Which is just it's just our penis, right? Our penis is solving all the problems.
I think that's something else.
Oh, okay. Something else, by the way, that somebody in chat reminded me of what James was saying. Danny Boy reminded me of something while we were like arguing, not arguing though. What was the thing? What unites the right is different. What unites us? What we was talking about with like art creation, and we shit on them. Because we are different audiences for their different messages. So when we hear their shitty art and their horrible, they don't care about making the most beautiful sound with their voice. I'm thinking of Laura Trump right now. They just want a message, and it needs to get out in a way that people will listen to it in their cars. They need to listen to it in their dens. Oh, let's put on Laura Trump's album, and let's hear their messages of like patriotism and sacrifice and all that shit that she's doing with her firefighter song or whatever. They don't put in the time because they don't have to get that message out to make the most beautiful sounding voice. I don't need what's the blow job guy's name? He doesn't need to be an amazing master of rhythms and like learning like great rhythms to get out his shitty message that just goes along with. Oh yeah, there we go. Tom McDonald. There you go. Forgiato Blow. Thanks. They don't need to put in the time to actually.
Guy, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
No, Forgiato Blow. Yeah. I'm sorry. That guy. They don't have to sound amazing to get the message out because their audience, due to the circumstances and the propaganda they've heard, just need that message. Whether it's reaffirming their beliefs with how awesome they are because they are the true patriots listening to patriotic Lee Greenwood shit, which sounds terrible. That's a mix of it. But it's also, there's a different side of that where it's their message is punching down. Their message is punching down because that's what their side sees. Their side sees things like hierarchy, and they get into their white supremacy because they've been taught that this is like nature's way. And look at the world. White people take or control the world, and that's because of nature. That's like their beliefs, like their core. Whether they say it out loud, that's like their core beliefs with like these like white supremacists, and they don't need some amazing musician to give them that message. So when they are someone who's like, I'm going to give that message because I'm not going to be like, hey, Bon Iver, can you make a white supremacist album? He's going to be like, the fuck you say? Like, they don't need to be an incredible musician to get that out. So their audience goes, because every time there's a brand new right wing audience, those same however many millions of people go, oh, thank God we have a different person to give that same message that we love hearing. And it's comforting for them in a nostalgic kind of way. You were touching on nostalgia a little earlier, but like it gets back again into that like that fast flow of far right, like white supremacist fascism, authoritarianism, like not having to think for each like too much.
Tell me the difference between Toby Keith and Tom McDonald.
I don't know their music. Who are you talking about? I don't know Toby Keith.
I think you're muted, James.
Streamer moment.
James
Streamer
is muted.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say the difference between the two is that Tom McDonald can still order cheeseburgers.
And I don't get that reference either.
That one, yeah, it's deep. It's
you can Google all this stuff, Red, but it won't make you happy.
Really. Really.
No, what you're
But,
saying
like,
with the
there's good-
messaging, like
what you're saying with like country music, right?
Yeah, Toby Keith was post 9/11 country music about like, you know, we're gonna go over there and show them the freedom and Tom McDonald
Real quick,
is the same
before
shit.
You go, before you go too long. Again, when I'm speaking stuff, I'm not speaking in the ones and zeros. So obviously there are like right-wing country musicians who put in the time and the work, you know, like there is talent on the like the side. I'm just like saying as a general vibe, because like I don't listen to country. I hate country. As a kid, I hated country and opera, and now I like opera. There's like very few country songs that I will hear. Not to get it anecdotal, but their message, because like you have some talented people there, and the message, whether it might be code, I don't know Toby Keith. Is it coded white supremacy? Post 9/11 sounds like it might have been. Sounds like we might have been doing some like rah, and I bet you the right-wing politicians were using that music to say, let's go kill brown people somewhere else in the world after 9/11, right? So like they're better at using multiple, like, oh, that's a song with some talent behind it. It sounds great. We're going to use that for our propagandistic purposes. Like So yeah, I'm just trying to say, like, I'm not just saying everyone sounds like Tom McDonald or Blowjob Guy. There is talent. It's just for different reasons, and the talentless ones are much faster. Like, we have them fast tracked. Like did that Forgiato guy, like, spend 10 years working on his craft and putting out like mixtapes and passing them out and building up something on, I don't know, MySpace back in the day or wherever the fuck you do it now, TikTok? Or was it just, here's a message the right wants to hear, and I'm the shitty person to give that message and ride that wave of fame and fortune? Because there's a lot of people who are like doing that with like pick me shit, just for like art stuff, political takes, whatever. I'm rambling. Sorry, this is spicier than I thought. She made me
I don't.
kimchi fried rice with longanisa sausage and 2 soft eggs on top. It's delicious.
Real quick, Forgiato Blow started recording singles in 2013. So to your point, Forgiato
What does
Blow
it
has
sound
been
like?
writing raps and producing songs for 13 years.
And he still sounds like that? Oof. Okay.
Just throwing that out there. Just saying.
Was it right wing though? I'm just curious.
Unless I am wrong here, hold on.
Because a terrible musician normally gets weeded out with being bad, and no one wants to hear that message. So
let's see. His first track was called "Catch Up to My Campaign." So I would say so.
Always political. Okay.
2016, Surf God. 2016, Silver Spoon.
To speak to,
there is no better way. Oh, okay.
Red and chat and country music and the dichotomy that's currently happening. The best country music is country music about fighting the law and doing drugs and all the other shit like that. There is good country music that exists.
Right? And I'll hear that in a cool movie at a moment where I'm like, that song works with the scene, and I'm understanding like the music with the thing. But I'm not like, in a movie, I'm like, oh, this is for purposes. I understand that part, and I'm enjoying it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Is it something that I would buy, like when we used to buy music? Definitely not. Is it something I would like listen to streaming in my car? Nope, I'm good.
I listened to that
in a movie. I'm like, all right.
Stream you had the other day with the avant-garde jazz. Like, I stuck with you, bro, in spite of the fact that I was not having a good time.
It took me 10 years to like that music, of like listening to like other jazz.
IPA of
it took
music,
me 10 years
bro.
to get into free jazz. And then I was like, once I got into it, I was like, oh, this is my shit. I love this because there's so much freedom in it. And like, then it's like freedom with other people. And anyway.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. You all right?
All right. I just saw the clock. I got to go take Tito out very shortly and do the thing.
Yeah, I think we're actually going to wrap at this point. This was a wonderful conversation. I think that we could do another one of these, and there's other people that I want to get involved in this type of conversation. You want to do the thing real quick?
Yeah,
who you are and where you're from?
Just the last thought. This is a thing that doesn't happen often, so I just wanted to bring it up. I love that, like, I can express my shitty half-baked ideas in a way that you guys know that there's a really good point at the end, and you help me get there. And you don't make me feel dumb for doing it, except James. But that's like personal beef. I gotta smoke him one day. It's gonna happen. He know we got a box. He gotta catch the he gotta catch the fade. That's just he gotta pull back up to New York. That's all it is. He know what's up. But no, it's
like a
always
Red Sox Yankees thing. Is this?
Yeah, let's call it that. Let's call it what happens in the stands at a game.
It's just when you ain't got no gas, but you're still hoping for smoke. That's all that is.
You saw wheeling the brain on that one. No, I just like not always being. I like being corrected in like the right direction. It's like, I like your ideas. Here's how you could refine them so they're a little bit more palatable, because it sounds super odd and weird when you leave it like that. And I like that because I don't get that. That's the type of, it makes me feel good. You guys
100%. Like, that's what this was about, right? Like, because I don't have all the ideas. I consider myself a smart guy. Other people consider me a smart guy, but I have blind spots just like everybody else. And I want to get the ideas out there, and I want to talk them through, and I want people to give me, I don't need to know how something can fail. I know how the myriad of ways anything can fail. But give me a way that it can succeed in that kind of shit. That's the shit that I'm looking for. And y'all are you're intelligent, and not just intelligent, but you're smart, and you work through your opinions, and when you're confronted with new information, you can analyze it alongside the information you already had and incorporate the new information or reject it based on its merits. Like these are the people that I fuck with, like that kind of thing. And that's it. Y'all are great.
Twitch.tv/the_paradigm_shift. Make sure to get that Twitch gives you back the username that I so rightfully deserve and get rid of these underscores. You can find me on YouTube at the same name. You already know the vibes. I do poetry and I be rapping sometimes. And me and Globus are gonna play Dying Light, and that's all I got for you.
Yeah.
I'm James. I probably don't like you.
It's true.
Brad?
That was hard.
Hi, Redolent Thought. I'm E, and Redolent_Thought, and our channel gets stupid, but we also do this stuff from time to time. And I've already had these other two on. I got to get Paradigm on the late night stream. We do go past 2 when like the zombies are out. So,
Again,
10
another
o'clock
thing
in
that
Europe.
we
Yeah.
touched on what he was called. Yeah.
No, I heard you say that part. I heard you say that.
Okay. Yeah, real sickos come out at night, but I got you one day. Don't worry, we'll be up.
I do mean to stream not doomer hours when the girls are at schools. I keep saying that, but I'm in the middle of a job thing that's taking up all my time. So I was glad could do this. I didn't have to be at that job today, and I had a great time talking to all of y'all. And sorry about the tech problems. Go fuck yourself. You know who you are. And
should I go fuck myself in a nested scene?
That's efficient. That's efficient.
I'm a fan of efficiency. Know this.
Yeah, you're just a camera and a music track.
I told you
and
I got 12 buttons. They all do one thing and one thing only.
Yeah, no,
it's archaic, my man.
I don't know how you live like that. Yeah,
I don't know, dude. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
I just sit over here, beat it with my caveman stick, and go, button.
Yep.
It eventually does the thing. Yeah.
Yep.
You all are delightful. I will see you tomorrow, no later than high noon Eastern, where I will once again talk about the news because y'all won't fucking pay me to play video games. You're very weird. You're all very weird. So,
James, you can come play video games with me. Paradigm Shift, James. Let's play some Madden.
I hate you. So I hate Madden.
If it's not MVP Baseball 2004, I do not want to hear it.
Oh my God, you should be hanging out with trans women. Trans women, CEO of trans women, the undisputed master of 13-year-old sports games.
We gotta see
Just for the
that.
Straight
record,
up, you should fuck with trans women. See?
I haven't bought Madden since 2K football started doing games and shit. Who buys sports games?
Say that.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Have a good night,
Get out of
everybody.
here.
Globus, you're a
everybody.
delightful host as always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very good job.
I'll see you all tomorrow.
Globus.
Bye.
Peace.
Yeah.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing. It was absolutely my pleasure as always. I enjoy this kind of stuff. It's, and streamers like to do stuff that's different from the stuff that they normally do. And I like to facilitate that as well. So like there's a whole bunch of things going on in that regard. Yeah. So Let's blow somebody's mind.
We had just met you. This is crazy.
They just
Get my
started
number.
streaming. Everybody
Call
stick
me,
around for the
babe.
raid. It's gonna be hilarious. I'm not sure how often Iggy gets huge raids like this, but I think it'll be cool. And it's Iggy. Iggy's awesome. If you haven't watched an Iggy stream, you absolutely should. I will be back on today is Thursday. I will be back. I'll actually be back on Monday. Because I just realized I work in the morning. So I'm going to do a stream Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And Tuesday next week is Judgment Day. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Terminator 2 Judgment Day happens Tuesday of next week. So we're going to see what happens. In the meantime, drink your water, eat some food, take your meds if you forgot, and always remember that Shaggy loves you. So do I. Be great.